Gramps. I found a pair of tickets to get into a really exclusive tavern. Maybe we should go check it out. That was where it began. I am Nathaniel, Lodi, Kelwar, Umros, Rashik, Tamrin, Elisek, Famris, Zanyar, Orlin, Kazviz, Gadri, Panuzu, Deepback. Or at least, I was. Now, I'm not so sure. This is the story of how my grandfather, two strangers, and myself became something we never thought we would be. Or even could be. How we became more than we were. And, hopefully, how we can become ourselves once again.
How do I do this again? That's right. Good evening, everyone. I am your GM for today. My name is Morden56. I am running the Exacted Spirits campaign. Yay! I get to mess with everybody and pretend to be Dalton for however long this goes.
Dalton!
And my story for the day is work is driving me nuts. Now for my fun fact for the day. I spent probably the last I spent like probably about 6 hours yesterday trying to get everything together for today, and did not delete my notes this time. That helps.
Yay!
You pog.
Very helpful.
But
And
on
appreciated.
on an actual note, the campaign here. This is actually the first time that this particular city has been the focus of the town, focus of the PCs in any stretch of time. Most of the last couple of times, they've literally run through this place and gone straight to one of the other villages or towns nearby. So
Why?
it's interesting to actually be able to use this map.
You
Probably because there was no actual map before, because I didn't have the incarnate to do it.
I mean, it's having a map, having something to look at, something tangible when it comes to campaign cities, definitely changes the impact they have on play. I will say that.
Yeah, like describing here does not do justice compared to actually looking at it on the map. Agreed.
And then we immediately started asking questions that you weren't prepared to answer.
Yup.
Yep. Because, like I said, no one's ever really sat here and thought about this place before. They went to the tavern, and then immediately moved on, or in, because it's not actually a tavern. This place doesn't technically have one.
They have a brewery.
They, in fact, have two breweries, and
Two
also
breweries and no tavern.
I
I
got
feel like there's a story there.
I got a nice tankard specifically for the campaign.
Cute.
Very nice, and I feel like it comes from the Moongate Tavern because it partially faces through the universe. Sometimes.
So,
I know, right?
So, hello everyone. I am W. Adam Clark, aka the second class elitist, aka Deuce. I am playing Gnathan today, and because this campaign is the absolute perfect place to do it, we will be doing a special Dalton class change today, so that I can do some play testing of a class that is being introduced in a document being produced by the Dungeon Dudes. So that ought to be fun. And my fun fact is related to that, in that I spent 4 hours today making the new character model and trying to get the spells all installed into the Moongate in time, and of course failed, but I will do the best I can. Some of it we'll have to, just apply things as at the end as we go, but I think we should be ready.
Yep, because I knew you were doing that. I sat here and have the document printed in front of me.
I have the PDF up on 2 different machines, so. And we should be fine. We'll make it work. We'll fix it in post.
Yep. Alrighty. I believe it's minor next.
I was told I was the last one. All right. Hello.
Swerve.
Yep. Then second went, and all of a sudden now, instead of being the second to the last, he was now the first. So now that makes you the last person, now the second.
Fair enough.
I'm confused. Somebody
Hello,
talk.
I'm Minor. I am playing Monarch, the GIF monk. We still don't know his rank. So
GIF,
Hippogriff,
Hypaxi, Hippogriff,
Hippengon.
Hippingon.
There's gonna be a shirt eventually. I can't promise that. I'm not promising that. I'm making a list just in case there is a shirt.
He's making a list.
eventually,
If absolute, I will tell you that if two people type into chat that they will absolutely buy the What's My Race shirt, I will make the What's My Race shirt. I can be bought very cheaply.
I mean, do I have to type it in? Because I'll tell you, I'd buy it just
having a
for
shirt
giggles.
made after a D&D character of mine would be honestly an honor, and I would definitely buy that.
All right, I'll get working on that then.
No, you don't. You don't have to.
It's fine. It's fun. It's fun.
He's fine with getting that shirt purchased. So yeah, he's cool.
Fair
He
enough.
likes this.
Fair enough. Had the sweet sound of money. But my fun fact for the day is Monarch happens to be from my very, we touched on it last session, where Monarch knows some deities that are adjacent to some of the Faerunian deities. And that is because I have decided, as of the last session, that Monarch is from my very first homebrew campaign setting called Elides, Alides, and it is based heavily on Faerun, but I've changed some wording, I've changed the geography, and I've changed the pantheon a bit. So it's slightly like the Sword Coast and the Forgotten Realms, but shifted in a weird direction.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the fun fact for Mom today. And we may get more information as we go on.
And his way.
Hello, I am Dreaming Gaming. I am playing the part of Phelan Duskflower, a something or other in this adventure. It changes.
He is a Warforged barbarian currently.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
So did he.
So anyway,
Robot.
yeah. So the fun fact is, Phelan found an interesting book when he was younger, and it may or may not contribute to his apparent mindset.
Uh-oh. Something's wrong here.
Oh. Was it the
We're
tongue
gonna
of the
be-
spell tongue? No, I'm kidding.
We're going to be waiting for a while for Ace to say something, I think.
Yeah, next on the list is Sokran.
So I'm Psychorax, playing Sokran today, the now half-orc wizard. And Sokran, before coming to the tavern, was kind of a bird brain, and he may or may not have set on fire his tent of his troop. He
Nice.
doesn't remember because he has goldfish memory.
Is it me or is his audio coming in and out very quietly and then loud?
You were clipping a little bit. If you pull your mic up a little bit, I think it'll help. Just like actually visually.
Yeah, I was having a small problem hearing you on that one. Try
You
one
were
more time
clipping
for
a
me.
little bit. Now you should be fine.
Alrighty. Next we have Billy. What is our Billy, the swarthy goblin, doing? By that I mean, what's your fun fact for Billy?
Oh yeah, my fun fact. Hello everyone, my name is Kane Volante. I will be playing Billy Hillbridge. Right now he sounds like a proper gent, but it's not his first accent. He's actually has as you know, he has the very southern accent, but fun fact about Billy is he's actually based, I don't know if I've actually said this because my memory is terrible, let me know if I did. He's actually based on my dad, and because my dad was a farmer, and he's based on his backstory is based on my dad, but he is based on a combination of him and me, so.
Neat.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
So now who wants to volunteer telling us what happened last time?
I just wanted to ask, Kane, which was it between you and your father that fires firebolts from your eyes?
Oh, that's definitely me. Only because that's actually part of my mom and me.
Nice. I was afraid he was going to say that his father was a goblin, but fortunately he went the farmer instead, so we're good.
No, if he was based on my dad that way, it would definitely be an Ettercap. But anyway.
Nice.
Oh God!
All right, let's see. My
Who wants to
notes.
do the who wants to do the recap? Not it.
Can I do the recap until I don't know what happened?
Go for it.
Go for it.
So after dealing with a bandit and turning him into the front gate, we made it into the city of Shell's Landing, and we got some information from the guard at the gate that there were two very nice establishments to stay at. My memory is completely off, though.
We went to the Jade Rabbit in
Thank
the.
you. Yes, we ended up staying at the Jade Rabbit.
Where we met a Jade Rabbit.
There were two inns in the town: the Guild's Row Inn, which was in the Guild Row, and the Jade Rabbit, which was in the Merchant's Quarter. We went to the Jade Rabbit.
I was surprised that Gnathan was so humbly able to supply us with the room and board. I'll have to owe him later. And
Humbly my butt.
And yes, after that, we spoke with a couple of the people on the next morning, had a lovely meal. I had a steak, and the others had their own meals.
Lamb.
Of lamb. And from there, we took care of business, and I decided to excuse myself and head off to the temple and just learn about a bit of the religious figures in this realm and see what similarities they had with some of the faiths that I was familiar with.
And after you went, Nathan really wanted to know what's up in the Adventure Guild Hall, so we all went with him to the Adventure Guild Hall, where we found a gentleman in a wheelchair, and Nathan was so happy to see all the adventure on the adventurer board and say, "I want to buy that one." It
Yep.
says it's 3 gold. I will buy that one.
I found the most exciting adventure on the wall, and I paid the 3 gold it said for us to be able to go on the adventure. And everybody was confused.
Yep. John absolutely looked at you and went, "That's not how that works, but it's okay. I don't need to figure this out until later. Once you're done, let me know." Yep.
And after that, we also went to the temple for very long debates on divinity and all the beautiful statue in the temple. And also, I think Nathan bought a greater restoration spell for the.
Yep.
He bought a greater restoration spell for John, if John ever decides to take it.
And I think that was where we left off. We're leaving the cathedral and probably coming back.
I
Correct.
do have a couple of additions as well, if that's all right.
Go for it.
Go for it.
We did come to town escorting 2 of our NPCs. Let's see, Krog Gibbs or Mills, the Goblin
Krog.
Artificer, and David, who we were escorting them because they had harvested some wheat. We also came here to speak to Mary, a tiger-striped tabaxi woman, on the matter of procuring some stone for our tower home to help repair it, who directed us to one Mr. Cardy, a rather brusque and muscular elven man, their local blacksmith and mason, who agreed to come back with us to Dunwick to survey the tower. Additionally, we had a dream. well, staying the night at the Jade Rabbit,
Oh,
and
right.
spoke to the
That's
lich
right.
figure Alaric, who made some interesting comments and made an attempt to hire us to betray Dalton, and whatever Dalton was looking for, bring it to him instead. There were some interesting mentions of a game, toys, and the idea that the very world we're in is the board of this game.
And that we
But
are merely pawns.
we don't have enough information to go on at this point. Or at least that's what Mom feels.
Mm-hmm.
I showed a bit of interest in his offer.
Yes.
That you did.
But yeah. That's
Yep,
what-
and the way we actually ended the last session was you guys gathered Krog and Mills. Krog. Wow, I said the names wrong. David and Krog, and as part of it, you went and got Mr. Cardy
Mhm.
so that you guys can head back to Dunwick so that Cardy can look over the tower and give you an idea on how much stone he's going to need to fix it, and also we'll probably give you the timetable. Let's see here. We will jump over to the Dunwick map
Yay!
because I will tell you nothing actually happens on the way back because you guys murdered the bandits. They won't mess with you again. They know better now because there's
And
only
we captured their leader.
there's only one of them left, and he's currently being talked to very sternly by the guards. As I jokingly alluded to, the travel back is very uneventful. It's mostly just everybody sitting in the cart because now that there's no bags in there, everybody can fit in it.
Makes sense.
Whether you actually have a seat or not, or if you're just kind of sitting on the back of it with your legs hanging off. When you come back, Krog goes to his house, which Krog does not actually live at the mill. Krog lives in the house here. And David goes to his home, which is the house just south of excuse me. Thank you.
Yep.
Just south of Krog's. I believe I actually described Krog's house once because you guys knocked on the door. But Krog's house is absolutely a artificer madman who's decided that he doesn't really need a house so much as he just needs as many distilleries and breweries and working stations as possible crammed into one space and doesn't care how much room it actually takes up.
Yeah, you had mentioned like weird brass tanks sticking out of the roof and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So he just everything about his house indicates that more often than not, even if he's there, he's not really sleeping, he's just working on things. He doesn't he does not hide the fact that he experiments all the time. You guys left around midday, so you actually get here fairly late at night. So Cardi is not going to be able to look over everything right now because even with the night vision, it's just easier for him to do it in the day. He's going to stay. He's going to stay at the Ford household, David's house, for the night. Did you guys want to do anything before before we progress to the next day? Have any conversations with anyone, anything of that nature?
Is there enough time for us to leave now and still get to the other village around dusk? Because I think that was the plan, if we could do it.
You would not be able to do it tonight. Now, once after, because it's let me jump back to Shell Landing real quick, and I'll plug it. If you look at the northern side and to the right of the den, those 4 fields you're seeing up here,
right?
That's the fields that you're being pointed towards. So it basically takes the better part of a day to get back and forth between.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
thought there was a
Well,
different
it was
village.
something like 18 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it basically like because you left midday, it ended up being nighttime when you got home.
Gotcha. And then we're just
so
coming back
now-
up the next day. Okay.
You're coming back up, and you're going to be able to. By the time you get here, you'll have time to walk around the town. But once it starts getting dark, you're probably going to want to start heading towards the field.
Okay.
I guess we can come back when we will escort our Stonecutter friends.
Right.
And friends.
That's kind of what I assumed was going to happen. Is that he was going to look it over, and once you guys decide on whether you decided or not, you're probably going to end up taking him back.
Nice.
At least that is the assumption I had. If he has to go back on his own, he can. Probably will be
Planning on
fine.
going back to Shell's Landing for the adventure that Gnathan bought anyway.
Exactly. But
I would
So-
think that people are sleeping right now, so I wouldn't want to particularly bother any of them. The only person that I'd have any interest in having a conversation with would be Phoebe, but that can wait until tomorrow.
yeah, Phoebe's house is the green one here.
Yep. I've made notes on which NPC lives where.
Yep. Yeah, she I'm assuming it was conversations about her little garden she has in the back.
Yes.
All right. So on that note, I believe we would be best to just proceed to the next morning.
Yep. We can skip a day.
Next morning, I assume you guys are going to go to speak to Mr. Cardi, have him come to the tower.
Assist him, whatever fashion is deemed necessary for the repairs.
Does anyone actually have mason skills?
Nope.
Not currently.
No.
Did you have mason skills before you turned into the apothecary?
Yeah, but they were purchased with the class, not with my background. No, I had them not because I haven't apothecaried yet. I'm still currently
Gotcha.
the artificer, but it's the different artificer. I had them on the first artificer, not the current artificer. This character is confusing.
Right. Yeah, you had it when you were a gnome, but not as a drow. Got it.
Correct.
Okay.
Because I completely rebuilt a different artificer for the two.
So someone roll me a d12, and then someone else roll me a percentile.
Not it.
I'll roll the D100 if somebody else rolls the D12.
I'll roll a d12.
Yay.
Alright, you start with the D12, I'll roll the D100.
Who did the wait? Who's doing the d12?
Well, the first
I
one that
did.
came up was the 12.
Of course, like the one time Gray goes to roll something where low rolls actually are more helpful than high, he rolls high. Of course.
And then I rolled an 83.
I
Yep.
mean,
So,
Knock the tower down, build a new one. Oh,
not quite. Cardi goes. Cardi comes to the tower, gives it a look over. He looks it over for probably about an hour or two. Like testing the stone around where the breaks are, making sure that it's not going to just fall apart the moment someone starts messing with it. And he so the stone here is good. You don't have to worry about what's here. We'll be able to replace it with what we got. It will match.
okay.
It's going to take a while to get the stone though. It'll probably take gathering over the course of 12 weeks.
Okay. That's reasonable.
Yeah, well, as we get the stone loads in and bring it down, we'll be able to do the repairs, but we'll be repairing it as we're getting it because we don't have enough at Shell Landing to replace what the damage was done. But As for the cost, I think you would be able to. We'd be able to do this for about 2,000 gold.
So what do you guys think?
That's including the stone and the labor.
Do I think that sounds like a reasonable price?
If you want to insight check them, you can.
Oh, well, yeah, sure, I'll do it. It's not going to end well.
I'm not proficient in insight, so
You don't necessarily have to be proficient with insight. I always think of insight more as a gut feeling than anything else.
Yep.
You just may not trust your gut as much.
I'll just call it. I might just call it the passive, like the 10 plus whatever modifier I have. So we'll call that a 13, if that's all right.
Yeah, since a lot of people are rolling it, I'll just use the
Yeah.
passive of 9.
Okay.
If that's all right.
I'm not gonna.
It's fine.
No.
It's fine.
Alright.
Everybody for the most part feels like he's attempting to be fair. He might be a little high. He might also be shooting a little long on the actual production time, but you don't think he's doing it egregiously?
He might also just be shooting a little bit high to make sure that if something goes wrong, he still has a margin.
Exactly.
That's not uncommon.
Yeah. In addition, he's
And
not doing
yes.
it maliciously. He's doing it so he can get a profit and account for any setbacks that
Exactly.
may occur. It's just future proofing it. That's
Yep.
fair.
Yep.
Also,
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't
okay.
maybe he doesn't like dealing in small numbers or weird numbers.
Very possible as well.
Nice even number. I just go. Sounds reasonable to me.
I think it sounds like I don't have to do the work. I'm okay with it.
I'll be
Yeah,
helping along, so.
I have apprentices for putting blocks up, and the ones who can't pick the blocks up, they don't stay apprentices long, so you're fine.
Would it be?
So what does Gnathan think of it? Because I
Oh,
think
no. We lost a Morden.
he's the one we
lost our
almost
DM.
all the gold.
All right. Well, while Morden's gone, we're going to win the campaign, guys. Get ready.
More than make a break for it.
Everyone there.
He's like, oh, these guys, they're overthinking my stone.
They're making my life harder.
My GPU is now slated to come in on the 29th.
He
Nice.
came back for a second and then he's gone again.
Yep.
It's just like, yep, no, I made the right decision.
Time the charm.
I'll have to pick.
Well, I have no idea what just happened, guys. Sorry about that. That was interesting. I don't know how much you actually heard me from the last little bit, and I also can't remember what I was saying because I got really confused all of a sudden.
We were
You
you
just
had given
left.
us a price, and we were all taking insight checks and discussing why it would be reasonable for him to slightly uptick the price just in case, with it being such a long job, and basically deciding that we were okay with it. So,
Just how Gnathan think of it, because I think you have almost all the gold.
yeah. So, do you want to get paid in advance? Do you want half now, half when the job's done? What were you looking for?
I normally do half now and half when the job is done because I use the first half to buy some of the supplies and then the second half of
To pay your laborers when it's done. Yeah, that makes
exactly.
sense. All right. Do you prefer gold or platinum because it weighs less?
Both work. Merchant skill can break the platinum down if I really needed him to.
All right. Well, I'm just going to give you gold because that way it weighs less for me. So there's 1,000 gold.
He takes 1,000 gold. I'm assuming, like, if you pour it out, you count it. He counts it. He takes a bite into one to make sure they're real, and then opens up his apron that he has in front of him, and just scoops the whole thing inside of it. And the apron closes, and it doesn't look like there's anything
He
in
has
it.
an apron of holding. That's awesome. Where did you get that?
I talked to Fargrim. At Gunner
Fargrim.
University. At Gunner University.
Oh, we so need to go all talk to Fargrim because
He made it for me. There are some quirks to it sometimes, but that's what happens when you get someone to make a custom item for you.
yeah, no, that's
It costs a
awesome.
pretty penny, but it works. It allows me to keep all my tools on me just in case I have to do emergency repairs.
See, that's what I was just thinking. Like, I have like 6 different sets of tools, and this way I could have them all in one pouch, and just always pull out the tool that I needed. Like that's
Yeah. He reaches into his pouch and he pulls out some mason's tools, like the hammers and chisels and stuff like that, and he drops it back in, and he sticks both hands in like really far, like it looks ridiculous, like he's curled over, and he lifts his hand and lifts his arms out, and he's holding like a mini anvil that you would see for like
nice.
little immediate repairs to try like fixing chainmail or something, and then he puts it back and he's like, it works.
It's brilliant. I love it.
That could be very useful, especially since this being a goblin, I'm not as strong as I used to be. So
Yeah, goblins aren't normally that strong, but wait, what do you mean you're not what you used to be?
It's a
We used to be
long
human.
story.
Strange days. Weird days.
Very odd magics. Don't
A
worry,
man
they're not
came
contagious.
into this.
We don't think.
I was cursed.
Okay. And stay away from me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood. Right.
That was a
Nathan,
slight fib.
Nathan,
Y'all?
depending, you remember in the Adventurer Hall, the majority of the adventures were copper or silver pieces, yes?
Yes.
You purchased the adventure that was gold.
Yeah. 3 gold.
So it's I thought it was 4 gold, but
Whichever.
effectively it's more expensive and therefore potentially a longer venture than the others. Would it be beneficial to give the remaining half of the payment to one of us to stay at the tower, just in case this adventure takes us longer than the 12 weeks? Just so we have the payment ready and available for all the workers that would be here.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Badger yawning says,
It does
hold
require one
on
of
to
us
it.
to stay here. Or we could give the money to David or someone else to hand to Mr. Carty once the labor is done. But if anybody would be willing to stay behind, I apologize. That's an unreasonable request.
Oh, I think it's pretty smart, actually. And I mean, Grandpa needs his beauty rest because, have you seen him lately? So if he wants to stay behind and just make sure that nothing happens to the tower, and we'll go back and, we'll get the adventure that I paid for. And then, hopefully we'll be back before the tower is done. But if not, this way we don't have to worry about, stiffing the workers.
Exactly. There's no guarantee that this will take us 12 weeks, but just on the off chance, we don't want to make it seem like we're running off without paying, because that would be, we're paying for our home to be repaired.
Exactly. No, I think that's a good idea.
All right.
Well, there's not a guarantee we'd be coming back either. I mean, things could go badly.
That's also
I mean,
true.
I don't think they're going to go so badly that none of the 5 of us come back. And if they do, then, we probably don't want to pay for the tower for 6 people anyway.
I mean, it could be used by the people in the town
Yeah.
regardless.
All right.
So 2,000 gold then. I will get
We're
the
giving
stone quarry
1,000 to
to...
Mr. Carty and then 1,000 to Badger to hold on to for the end of the
Yes.
task.
Yep.
Just so that we have it on record, I am going to remove the second 1,000 now, so that the number I have on me is what we have available in liquid currency in case it becomes an issue.
Wait,
But-
we actually have 2,000 gold on
I have a lot of money.
We
Um,
don't.
yeah.
The party that did quests for Dalton
Yeah.
previously did.
We were
Yeah, that's
saving
why I
up.
was
We
like-
were
that's
saving
why I'm
up
looking at
money
Nathan
for me
like-
to do a ridiculously big expensive armor project, and then the GM threw adamantium doors in our face. I'm assuming not realizing that we figure out a way to bust the hinges and steal the doors and not have to actually buy the adamantium. But you know what? I don't care because I stole the doors.
That might be a change for any future times that Morden runs this campaign.
No,
Oh,
no, that's not going to change.
Oh dear.
The room that they stole the doors off very specifically is there for a reason.
We did not steal the doors. We acquired them legitimately. We found them and took them.
Yes.
And
Yes.
They were
now,
legally looted doors.
the question is, what were these doorkeeping in?
Well, that's
Well-
okay. We killed it. So that's not a
Yeah.
problem anymore.
You re-identified the things that were in the room that had the adamantine doors on it, and the room that was the other side of that, nothing ever changes in that room, so you're fine.
Yeah. And more importantly, now I have, several hundred pounds of adamantine for, an upcoming armor project, which is going to be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
if you say adamantine in any adventure, it is a loot. No matter
Damn
what.
right.
You are not wrong.
You find
Really,
an
the-
adamantine? Hold on. We're not moving from this spot until I figure out a way to grab this.
Adamantine golem.
And you, in fact, talked Kevin into using fabricate on them to make them into bars.
Yep.
Because, as you guys may or may not be aware, on the first floor of the tower, those adamantine bars are in fact sitting in plain sight.
We've got a very sleepy old man guard.
Fabricate is a incredibly underrated spell, in my opinion.
Dude, it's awesome. I love that.
You never ever irritate the old guy.
I mean, Badger was your beat stick for pretty much the whole campaign so far.
Yeah, he was.
But that's okay. You got a couple of more beat sticks that just showed up.
Yeah.
One of them is distinctly hippo-shaped.
I mean,
Yes.
so did almost get us killed too.
Yes. that absolutely almost happened as well. Now I digress.
Mhm.
When are you guys planning to head back to Shell Landing?
Oh, I was under the impression that we were going to do that as soon as the surveying was done. As long as we'd be going with
yeah,
Mr.
whenever he's ready to go back, if it's immediately, we can do that. If he needs to take a day or two, whatever works is fine.
He's already done the surveying. It only took him like an hour or so. He's ready to head back. But I knew the PCs had expressed interest in talking to some of the people here in Dunwick. I just didn't know if he
yes.
wanted to do that yet or not.
Yes, I'll pop by Phoebe's place.
There you go.
Follow. I would like to see the god.
Just for reference.
I'm gonna let you guys go by yourself because I'm not one of her favorite people. So I will just kind of wait until you guys are done. But no rush. Take your time.
Sucker and rolling those 2d20s. Oh, I see what this is for. Never mind.
Yeah, I would stay behind also, actually.
Okay.
Because Phelan would definitely be interested in, you would definitely have heard him go, oh, really? Why aren't you one of her favorite people? It sounds like there might be a story there.
It's a story that's already come up 3 or 4 times. She thinks that I was going to sell her to a lich.
Ah, I am multiple.
I don't think Phelan was actually there to hear that.
I don't have to be here. I can
think
see without
Phelan
being here.
was there, but Gray was
okay.
not.
Assistant DM. I can still share the screen without being on it. We
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah, we'll put in a Gray just so that Gray can see, but we'll stick him in a corner.
Yep.
Yay. I feel like I'm back in childhood again. Get your ass in the corner. Oh,
So you guys come to Phoebe's house. His house. Phoebe's house is a small cottage that is covered in vines that have pale pink petals on them. It is, as I stated, it is fairly small. You can see parts of the garden from just walking up to it because the garden is actually larger than the house itself. And there's nothing big. There's no like big giant fence stopping it. It's just a probably about waist height fence with a arch that allows you to walk into it. You absolutely see a bunch of different colored plants in the back.
It's creepy.
Do I hear anything that would give me the sense that she's out back in the garden or actually just inside the house?
You do not hear her in the back. What's your
Perception would be
perception?
13.
13. You can hear something in the house.
Okay.
Like you're not exactly sure what it is, but you can hear what might be movement, might be chopping, might be something.
Okay,
Don't you
I'll
want-
walk up to the door and knock.
Indeed.
Both,
Right
both,
behind you.
both.
Clippity clop, clippity clop. Anyway. Oh, hi. Can I help you?
I just, on our trip to Shell Landing with Krog and David, Krog mentioned your lovely garden. It piqued my interest, so I was just wondering if you'd be willing to show us the garden.
It piqued my interest as well.
Oh, yeah. Croc loves it in there. He likes to see what the different he calls them ingredients, I call them friends, can do for him. You know,
You
that weird
mentioned
drink he likes to
specifically-
drink a lot has a few things that are in the back.
You
You
mentioned
then
the
take some
bubble
of your
tree
friend?
specifically.
Oh, yeah, I can show you Bubbles.
All right, please.
She walks past you, swings around the south end of the house.
Oh,
Welcome to my garden. This is Bubbles. He's in a golden hue kind of day, so he's happy. But, you know, that could also just be because it's sunny out. Who knows? You are looking at, it is not a extremely tall tree. It's probably about, probably about 8 feet, but it's set up much like an oak would be, just small. With instead of having leaves and other things on it, it is golden bubbles, probably the size of a Christmas ornament. Coming off of it, there are some that are smaller to like the size of the Christmas lights, and some that come as big as like like you're looking like a really large apple on them. But for the most part, they're probably say about 3 inches maybe around,
Okay.
and they look like they have the glow is coming from inside of them, and it looks like a swirly like mist.
this is very beautiful. What kind of tree is it?
It is a bubble tree.
What do the bubbles do?
Lots of things. Thank you very much.
Can I have one?
Sure. Can you reach it?
Yes. Wait. I'll go ahead and try to grab a low-hanging one by jumping.
Athletics.
Yay! The thing he used to be good at.
Oh, Billy,
Let's-
always going for that low-hanging fruit.
Oh yes.
Is this gift freely given?
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to ask for money for it. It's always fun to watch people, grab a bubble from the bubble
Did I
tree.
roll the right thing? Okay, that's a -1, so that's only an 8 probably.
How familiar am I with these plants?
So, given what you were, you recognize them, but I don't know if you're going to be extremely familiar with them. You can
I
give
think
me an
it's a
Arcana
wide
check
place.
if you would like on it.
It's a
Um,
wide and varied place.
Yeah, the thing with a lot of the Fae stuff is like there are similarities, but almost everything functions different depending on what play, like where in the Fae you are.
That's
So you might be familiar with the tree, but like the tree might be green and do something completely different than what this one does.
true.
For Billy, you basically jump up and down a couple of times, and you might get like a finger touching it, but you don't quite get your hand on it to grab it.
This was so easy, much easier when I was taller.
Hashtag short people problems.
It's okay. I can
uh,
help with this. She walks over. She just reaches up, grabs it, and hands one to you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Are these edible, or do I do something with these?
I've never actually tried to eat one before, but once you break the skin, the mist comes out.
Do it.
I know Krog likes to use them, but I don't know how he uses them.
Pop the bubble
Do it.
and see what happens.
Random mutation check. Do it.
I'm going to go ahead and can I roll an Arcana to see whether I
Absolutely.
can pop this or if I should throw it in order to activate it.
I mean, sure, you could do either one of those, but yep, roll your Arcana.
Now I'll actually roll the right thing.
Hashtag poor life choices.
Oh no.
Yay!
Billy, you're absolutely sure that you should take a bite out of it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh, wait.
I just know-
Oh, wait.
I've had strange. I'm sure it's a plant, so it's strange fruit, right? He tries. It's like a sphere, so it's like kind of like squishes it a little bit to kind of
Like
drink it.
it's kind of it feels more firm like an apple, like
Okay.
not an overripe apple, but you got a tiny bit of give, but not a lot.
I'm imagining it sort of like squishes, sort of like a hamburger.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it to where I can like take a bite, then take a bite.
Okay, you take a bite. Roll me a d10.
D10. Detention. That's it.
And now roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Woohoo. That's my strong suit now. No. Here we go. Oh wow, that's pretty good for me.
Mm-hmm. So as far as you're aware, nothing's happened. Really, you took a bite out of it. It tasted funny. You have a bad taste in your mouth from it, and all you saw was the mist kind of wash over you as you took a bite out of it and go past you.
Oh, I'm not sure you're going to get the food aspect out of this on return. It must be some kind of. I must have gotten my I must have. I don't really know what this is either. So, well, obviously Krog knows what to do with it. Must be an alchemist's thing.
I
Out of
could make
curiosity.
this taste like anything you like.
Oh yes.
Ooh,
I
press the
could
digitation.
change I could change the flavor of it as well. It's just now it's gone, right? It's just kind of like
I mean, the skin is still there, but yeah, the mist is gone. The skin is actually translucent.
Out of
So-
curiosity, did Phoevia look slightly disappointed that nothing happened?
You saw that she was very excited. She had her hands like this, like ooh, 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 and then she kind of went, "Oh, okay." So yes, she absolutely was
knew.
100% excited that someone was biting into it.
She knew.
She absolutely did.
Of course she did.
But yeah, that's Mr. Bubbly. Didn't do what he was supposed to do this time, but that's okay.
Wait, what was he supposed to do?
Why don't you try another one and we'll see?
I'm going to
Now you're
pick
just
one
being
of the
mischievous.
bubbles I'm going to pick one of the bubbles and attempt to pop it over Billy's head.
Both of you roll me a. Both of you roll me a d12.
I want him to do that, so I probably need. I think I'd be able to see him like try to do it over my head. So I probably
This has nothing to do with what it's actually doing. This is just me figuring out
D12.
how. Yeah, this is the d12. This is not the save portion of it yet. All right. So
Because making someone have to roll a save on a D12 is a really dick thing for a GM to do.
yeah, right. So Billy.
Good news is
actually,
your
no.
DC is only an 11. Bad news is you only get to roll a D4.
So Monarch roll an unarmed strike for me.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Because you're absolutely trying to hit him basically with this to try and crack it. So that's why it's an attack roll.
That looks like a
24
hit.
is going to be over Billy's AC. Billy tries to dive out of the way, and it ends up just cracking it open. So now both of you
think that I
give me
threw
a
it like a
wisdom saving
baseball.
throw. Oh, I thought you said you were trying to crack it open over
Oh,
his head. I'm
true.
thinking you walked up
If
to
it
him.
catches both of us, then that's better. So yeah, let's do that.
So both of you roll me a wisdom saving throw now.
That makes sense. Okay. Wisdom save. Save throw. Woo!
Jeez.
I'm rolling good today.
You see the mist spring forward. It engulfs both of you and then disappears. And you're both still standing up. You see Phoebe doing the ooh ow.
Again?
Monarch.
Man.
I smelled this before. It's not a very good smell.
Okay. No more bubbles for you. You're gonna pluck the tree out. The tree dry. Have other things in here if you wanted to try those. I mean, you could also try the mushrooms, or the sun god flowers, or the violet bushes.
I'll stick this like shell inside, like delicately inside my bag in a
Okay.
safe spot, because I want to save that for maybe
Mhm.
kind of glass.
No harm was meant. It's more of a party trick than anything else.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, nobody got to see the trick, but that's okay. We'll find someone who gets to see the trick eventually.
Indeed.
You're getting some kind of enjoyment out of this, aren't you?
I mean, every time someone comes into the garden, I always get enjoyment out of it. And most people have no idea what half the stuff in here is. Hey, when I first encountered all of this stuff, I had no idea what it was either.
What are these yam-looking things?
Oh, those are mushrooms.
Mushrooms. All right. Most mushrooms are edible, or at least alchemical in some way.
Some mushrooms are poisonous. I wouldn't make the assumption that most mushrooms are. Well, most mushrooms are edible, but some mushrooms you only
eat once.
Sometimes, some mushrooms help you see things that are not really there. But anyway,
some mushrooms do feed you until the end of your very short life.
What do these sunflowers do?
Yeah, the sun god flowers are fun. They stare at you.
They stare at me.
To clarify, as you walk close to the sunflowers, the one directly in front of you and the one above it literally turned and are following you.
Oh, they're like tracking me. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Krog likes to use the petals off of those. I'm still not sure what he does with them. I'm honestly not sure what he does with half of the stuff that he takes from me. The only stuff I know that he does stuff with is the big mushrooms here. And she points to the row that's right next to her. I know he uses those for his healing potions when he decides to make those. He doesn't make those as often as he used to, though. I think that's because we don't get hurt as much as we used to. There might be a correlation there. Maybe.
Oh, you might want to take some of those if you don't mind.
Oh, you
Whatever.
have a herbalist?
Well, he looks around. Nathan? He shrugs. Monarch? Maybe you?
If not, we might in another 5 minutes. You never know.
We could take it and see if maybe Nathan or his grandpa can do it.
Yeah, Arya,
If not,
all
we
the
can
stuff in here is bigger than it should be. But
I'm
yeah,
imagining
sure.
that the sunflowers are like the size of a person.
Basically, yes. Like
Right,
the actual top of the sunflower, the brown part with the yellow petals around it. I cannot remember the actual name of it. I'm sorry.
The flower.
Is the actual flower. Funny. I'm smart today. Is probably about the average person's shoulders width.
Ooh.
It's big. These flowers are huge.
They shoot laser?
They don't shoot lasers, but you know, if you stand like
I hope not.
Billy-
They turn towards us.
Billy standing there, the flower has to tilt down to see him.
Mhm.
See him. But other than that, they don't appear to do anything else.
I will attempt to take one of the petals because, I mean, it's cool.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't like pull away or anything. You pluck one of the petals out of it, and it still looks like it's staring at you. It's kind of creepy because it really does look like it's staring at you. Just thankfully, it's not a giant eyeball.
It's something comforting. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I grew up on a farm. The plants taking interest in you is a new thing for me.
It thinks you're the sun. You're fine. You're radiant.
I
Just don't actually cast radiant on it.
Do it.
Do what?
Don't do anything that does that radiant stuff on it. Like, you know how like the priests like to do that radiant bolt and other crazy guiding thingies. Don't do any of that to it. They react weirdly to it.
I don't have any of that, so no issues.
Yay!
I'll take a couple more. I'll take a bit of leaves from each of them then as I walk by them.
Yeah, you can pull a couple of petals and a couple of leaves. So Phoebia would have given you like 3 of the mushrooms, and let's just say you take like a handful of each of the petals and the leaves.
Well, what are these brightly colored ones?
Oh, they're the violet bushes.
Violent bushes or violet?
Violet, the color.
Oh, the color.
We've seen violent bushes already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those.
I've heard of the violent bushes. Nathan told me all about them.
Yeah. I am waiting for a letter back. From a friend. He's supposed to. I'm hoping he has an idea on what those were.
Do you know are the violet bushes just pretty, or do they have any?
I believe they're pretty. I mean, I think they're pretty. Do you think they're
look very
pretty?
They do look very, very, very interesting, especially when you arrange them like this. It definitely gives the whole garden a very otherworldly appearance.
How long did it take you to cultivate this garden?
The town has been around for 10 years now, so probably about 8.
You were. How did you all meet? Out of curiosity.
Well, we had an encounter with someone who likes to play games. And no, it's not Dalton. I'm talking about someone in Shell Landing, and we lost. or well, I didn't lose. I just decided I didn't want to play anymore. But Krog lost, and David lost, and Holly. I don't think Holly can lose. I swear she cheats. I really do. Um, and she decided to come along anyway because she thought it would be funny. And honestly, that's how our adventuring career started. It was literally, a bunch of us lost a bet and had to do something, and one of us decided to come along because she thought it was funny. I technically lost because I gave up, but
Hmm. It sounds not unlike my situation, to be honest with you, other than, the similarities. But I also, I
I
won.
mean, I didn't get turned into something else, so I've always been a satyr.
Hmm.
That's
Did
part
you
of the
happen
reason
to
why I was
catch the
allowed to get the
name?
plants.
Did you happen to catch the name of the individual who uh, liked to play games and sent you on this journey?
Kevin, or was it Kelvin? I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Well, we'd certainly have a feeling. Billy gets that feeling that only people who have met people with the name that starts with K get. But he keeps it to himself for now. And he'll say, "So you met this Kevin, and then next question actually, have you always lived on this plane, or did you just end up here?"
I mean, I was born here, not
Okay,
here, but yeah, I was born on in Eason.
that answers my question. Okay, fair. All right. I'll go ahead and just reach out, and I'll just kind of smell these violet flowers and see if I can see if they have any pungence.
They are actual bushes. They're just violet in color. Like they're different shades of blues and purples. She
Okay,
just
they're
calls
just
them
like
violet
bushes.
bushes.
Does Krog tamper with these ones at all?
No, they're mostly there just because they're pretty.
Okay.
Or at least if he does, he never tells me.
Well, I won't. I won't disturb them then. Just curious, what do they smell like?
Bushes.
Bushes. Okay.
They're not. They don't have like. They the only thing that's different about them is just the color. They're not actually physically different than a regular bush or anything like that. They're um like it's almost like when you see the roses that they've dyed where they've put the water that they've used was dyed, so it started pulling it in, pulling the color in. If you've ever familiar with that process, it's almost like that, just throughout the whole bush versus just normally the bottom.
Very beautiful.
Mhm.
Thank you for letting us see the garden.
Yeah, I have no problem with letting people take a look through the garden. It's one of those guilty pleasures of mine. I get to have a garden. I get to have some fave plants. I didn't get to see anybody pass out, which was fun, which wasn't as funny, but it is what it is.
Wait, that could have caused. Wait, these globes could have caused us to pass out.
Yeah, you tend to take a nap whenever they go off. At least these ones do. I've been told there are others that do other things, like cause you to float for a little bit. I heard of that one. I haven't actually seen it. I heard of a green one that actually can put you 6 feet into the ground, and you have to dig your way out. But those ones, you tend to know when you're going to get one of those because they tend to look like a drill, apparently.
Interesting.
So if you don't have any, if you run into drill shaped fruits, you have a problem.
Or a solution. Depending on your.
We'll keep that in mind.
Or a solution. Damn it, Gray.
He kind of looks kind of mischievously, like in a fake accusatory look at Monarch, who tried to pop it over his head, and then he just kind of winks and just goes, "It's fine, I don't care." He just goes, "All right, well, I'm sure Gnathan wants to go on his little paid adventure, so we should get going, should we? Or unless you guys have something else you want to peruse."
Only one more question, Phoebia.
Okay.
This person, Kevin or Kelvin, whatever their name is,
Mhm.
what did they end up having you do for them once you lost the bet and had to go on an adventure?
We had to take a letter to the capital.
All right.
And last question: do you have anything in this garden you can brew something with?
I mean, technically, you can brew almost anything. It just depends on if you want it to taste good or if you want it to do weird stuff.
Who did you take this letter to? Just in case we ever have ourselves in the capital, it would be nice to have an additional contact there.
I honestly don't remember. It's been a while. I don't really go to the capital. That was kind of my only time going to the capital. We went to the capital and then we left the capital and we went to the Elven town. What was the Elven town called? I can't remember. It was on the other side of the mountain. So
Do we have the map with us?
I assume you do. Because you're gonna see it now. Oh, that's right. You were Linther. We went to Linther after that because I think it was Krog. He said he thought that they might have some weird ingredients he could use. And then Oakland, oddly enough, now that I think about it, a lot of the times we were getting drugged around by Krog. Krog really, really likes trying to find exotic stuff. And then we went to Oakland because Oakland was a fortress town similar to Shell Landing, except for Shell Landing is a landing, not really like a castle. Oakland has a castle. Though we did not go to the desert. We definitely didn't go to the desert. And hooves don't work so well in sand, or at least I keep telling them that because I don't want to test that theory. But yeah, we dropped off a letter at Illicet, and then from there we just kind of kept going, and then we finally stopped down here in Dunwick, or what's Dunwick now, because it really wasn't anything when we stopped here. Digging the well sucked.
All right. That's all I wanted to know. Your garden is lovely.
Thank you. Have fun on your first adventure.
I'm sure we will have many enjoyable experiences.
Just jumping back to the Dunwick map for a moment. Was there anyone else you wish to speak to, or was there any place where the other group was going?
No, we were probably just hanging out at the tower waiting for everybody to be done.
Okay. So yeah,
Making sure Grandpa gets his prune juice.
Grandpa got his prune juice.
Yay.
Even if it was really just water that you press digitation to taste like prune juice.
That's fine. He can't tell the difference anyway.
Nope.
Was Nathan around for that conversation, or they stayed
Nope.
behind?
Nope.
No.
Nathan and Phelan weren't there. It was just you guys.
I wouldn't have the knowledge to connect it then. Okay.
Kane, if it's the place I'm thinking of, yes, I will point it out in a moment for you.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you have like a extra map or something, or I don't know, whatever you want to do.
No, I just have the one, but I can look at it real quick. Yes, that is the place I was referring to. Follow south and slightly east, but mostly just straight south between the mountains and the forest. All right. So your conversation with Phoebe probably took about 45 minutes to an hour. So we'll just say that you guys woke up at dawn. You did, you got breakfast and stuff like that, and we'll say that it's probably say 10 o'clock now. You guys, you are going to start your way back to Shell Landing, correct?
Correct.
All right. Everybody give me a D10.
Yay! Time for bad.
While we're rolling a d10, I did want to ask Monarch. Monarch, your name is very interesting. Is it-
It's not
is
my
it-
name.
Oh, it's not your name?
No, I simply said you can call me Monarch.
True.
Okay. True. Okay. Is your name long like Nathan's as well?
Sometimes.
Why is it? Did you prefer to be called that? Is there a reason, or is it just easier?
Names tend to change.
Hmm.
Titles give a better sense of who I am and who I want to be.
Oh, so it's literally a kingly title.
Well, he'd rather
You
you
can say
call
it as
him
that way.
Monarch than Slarty Bart Farst. Hadn't expected that to break the entire room, but we'll go with it.
I just didn't understand what you said. Was that different language?
Slarty Bart Farst. It's somebody else's name, and it's a very bad one. They don't like using it either.
Oh, I've never met this individual, and my condolences to them, and my confusion to their parents.
So on the road back, now you do not have any encounters of a negative nature. Thankfully, the bandits appear to be dealt with in a most brutal of fashions. You do not have to worry about them anymore, as far as
Do
you're
we see
aware.
any of them on the way back?
No, you do not. Honestly, you're
Wow.
basically following the track that you ran walked the last time. It takes about the same amount of time, so it'll take you the better part of a day to get to there, because you actually were going at a slow pace before. Well, if you want to pick the pace up, you can. You can go to a normal pace where if you wanted to roll perception checks, it would be at a standard versus a disadvantage. Actually, at advantage because you're not weighed down by all of the crap in the cart.
Makes sense.
Along the way, you guys do encounter some of the animals in the area, because probably the last time with the cart, you really didn't see too much of them because they were a fairly large group, and you also were making a lot more noise because of the cart.
Right.
The animals in here that you saw in here are fairly large. We're not talking like dire, no like dire wolves or anything like that, but what you do see are dinosaurs.
Wait, what?
There is not a hippo. You in fact see a brontosaurus.
What?
That's
and
not
a-
normal.
And a triceratops.
That's a bigger lizard.
Yes, it is.
A
Very big lizard.
large lizard.
I've heard of something.
Some of
like-
you who are more learned might be familiar with these things, because these things are not always in the world that you guys come from. But they do not appear to be hostile.
Now is the time where, knowing that there's a chance that I may become a druid at some point in the campaign, I look at all of the dinosaurs very carefully and hope that we see a T-Rex.
You do not see a T-Rex.
Damn it!
You actually only see herbivores at the moment.
These creatures remind me of stories I've heard of the Talenta Plains and the halflings that live there, but I didn't think they actually existed.
Do you
at
have
the time.
halflings that look like this?
Not look like this. They raise and train them and ride them.
Wow. I'd have to think you could fit a points at a brontosaurus. I'd have to think you could fit an entire halfling village on that thing. Or
think
at
I've
least an
heard
apartment
stories of
complex.
something like that.
I think it might be rather hard to build onto one of those. They can be temperamental if you go near them.
Well, you build, aside from it, and then you have it walk under the thing, and then you strap it down.
If you train them from birth, anything can be accustomed to something. These ones would probably be very, very dangerous. I would not go near them.
Given their
Wait, are you telling me you're gonna tranquilize it and then sit there for 8 to 16 hours feeding it one berry at a time?
No, that would have been years ago. Nowadays, you can do it much faster.
Learned how to do the XML file edits.
Suddenly, super loud.
All of the arc jokes. I apologize, except that I don't.
And the beautiful part is this campaign was ran before ARC.
Dennis
time
literally
that
just
the
typed in
creature
chat,
died.
someone's played arc.
It would be a very good beast of burden. So I could understand why a creature of its size would be able to carry houses, or maybe, depending on it, this being maybe a smaller creature of the species, maybe an entire village. I've
I
never
mean,
encountered a creature
we've
like this
heard
before.
of them having. To clarify, this is Cardi speaking. Because I did not clarify that earlier. my
I
bad.
just figured he was the only NPC with us, so that makes sense.
Yep. That's why I'm just. I figured you guys got it, but I also making sure just in
For
case chat or something
clarity.
gets confused. Yep. But I have heard that sometimes people will build houses on the back of them, but never really like sturdy structures. Let's put it that way. Most of the stuff here is set with it starts with a stone foundation, just because every once in a while we get really bad earthquakes, and we need something more sturdy than just wood to keep the buildings from falling over.
Makes sense.
And them's being big means that when the ground starts to shake, if they fall over, everything falls off.
Hmm.
But I've heard of some areas using them and the Triceratops as pack animals. I have heard of that. They're not terribly fast, if I remember right. Or at least the big ones aren't. The little ones, I think, have a good speed to them, but they're very temperamental.
I would have to think that the Triceratops would also be a very good battle mount. Especially if you had 3 or 4 of them in a line. Or even better, in a wedge.
Probably. I will tell you, I am not. I might be a smith, but I am not that type of smith. I don't go into battle. I just merely sell tools and sometimes weapons if I'm lucky.
Yeah, I don't really do that kind of thing either, but it's just, I mean, at least not this week. Who knows what happens tomorrow? But I mean, it's definitely something to think about.
You guys been chewing on mushrooms or something?
No, actually. Oh, and by the way, Nathan, we recovered some of these mushrooms from Phoebe's garden. They'll help with healing potions. Do you know how to
nice.
work with those?
I was going to say that my granddad used to. I might be able to.
I mean, if we
At
go
least
into
right
the
now
city
I
and-
can.
We'll keep them for now, I suppose.
Yeah.
We may be able to find somebody who can make something out of them in this city.
We can always just go to
I
Krog
mean,
as well if we need to.
You
So-
could probably find someone to buy them from you at the Merchants Guild. And if you can't, I guarantee you, if you go to one of the breweries, they'll absolutely make something out of it. Whether it's drinkable or not is a whole different animal, but you can absolutely get them to buy it from you. They'll buy almost anything.
Everything's drinkable at least once.
Very good kombucha then.
Yeah, yeah. The mystery ales everyone that you can get at the Guild Row is a little. They're interesting. Let's put it this way. They're cheap, but they could be anything from enough alcohol to put down a dwarf to after one sip to as little alcohol as it doesn't matter what you are. You can drink it like water. Because there are other things in it that cause, other things.
Always
You never
be
know.
careful of
That's
the
why it's
other
called a
things.
mystery drink.
Always
It's
be
also
careful
why
of the other things.
That's also why it's only 2 copper. Ow. You guys finish up your travels to Shell Landing. You make it there. It is. We'll say that I believe you left around this time. Last time, and you got there a little bit before dark, like an hour or two before dark. So we'll say the same time frame. And assuming you guys kept the same pace. If you were going faster, you would have gotten there about 2 hours earlier. So you would have about 3 or 4 hours of.
I mean, we
daylight.
Like we would have
probably
been going a normal pace.
we probably were moving a little bit quicker until we saw the dinosaurs and then stopped and talked about them for 45 minutes. And we're like, oh crap, now we're back to behind schedule again.
I feel like we would have slowed down, but
Yeah.
continued to talk about them while moving forward.
Yeah, so we'll say that is you probably got about an hour or two before you guys need to start heading to the field if you need to.
We can say, however, that I made sure to take enough time to quote unquote arcanely study all of the dinosaurs that we could see, even though we can't see a T-Rex,
Yep.
you bastard.
Well, should have rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Fun fact, in most campaigns, druids can only transform into animals that they're familiar with, which is why I made sure to study all the animals.
That is correct. If you had given me something that I was sure that you probably wouldn't have seen, it would have been a roll to see if you actually know what it is.
Yep.
Because just seeing it in a book is not enough.
Nope.
But before we move on, I think now's a good time for us to pause for our break in the middle, okay?
Fun fact, I once had a campaign that had a very, let's say, old world druidic style, and the druids could only actually transform into any creature that they had actually eaten.
Oh, that's even better.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's campaign. That's a campaign thing.
And then druids being able to change into big dangerous things. Not only do you know that they can transform into them, but you know that they have probably fought them, and at the very least had someone else do it and then eaten them. So yeah, it's
Oh, that could be a cultural thing where like the village goes on a hunt, brings back a big predator, and everybody feasts on it. And
Yep.
then it's just like you have.
and then their shamans are more powerful because of it. Yeah, that was pretty much what they did. It was fun.
That's pretty cool.
All right, I'm gonna get up. I'll be right back.
I will also get.
If anybody that's in chat, we're going to take a quick break. If you want to leave any questions for me or any of the other campaign members, go ahead, and we will answer them as soon as we get back.
I'll keep an eye on the chat, and then we'll have any.
Also, I will just say,
questions.
everyone be thankful that you can't see the players only Discord channel because the puns are bad.
Agree with that.
We ready to enter Shell Landing the second time?
I'm ready for us to do something exciting. Sure.
I'm ready to go on the adventure that Nathan so generously bought for us.
Yay! We're going on an
Absolutely.
adventure.
You are.
Bought an adventure.
You guys
Every
come-
time it's mentioned, I always just think of like I don't know what I'm thinking of. Like
That's okay.
Going
That's
on
okay.
a trip in our favorite rocket ship.
Morton had no idea what I was thinking of either, so it's fine.
Nope.
I bought an adventure. It makes it sound like you just went to the DM's Guild or something.
I went to the Adventurers Guild and I bought an adventure.
So everyone comes in through the southeast gate. Just like with before, you get stopped by the guards. In this
This one-
case, this time it's Cardi who talks, saying that I'm coming back to my shop. Can you kindly get out of my way? They kind of look at him for a second and step away, and let you guys pass.
Tight security.
We've not really had too many issues, but walls are there for a reason.
In addition, we look rather strange.
There is
I
that.
mean, I wasn't going to say that, but sure, we'll definitely go with that.
We look strange. We are strange
I
people.
mean, I have no idea what you are. He points at Monarch. The metal man is.
That's okay. No, he doesn't have any idea what he is either.
Nobody seems to know what I am.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what species I
pretty-
am.
I'm pretty.
It will make a nice shirt, though.
Anyway, coming.
I'm prepared if I ever get turned into a bard.
Well, there's a chance. All it's going to
There's
take is
always a
someone
chance.
playing the card and getting just the right roll.
We're
If
playing a
we
high
are
enough
in
card.
This campaign, it is always
We're
a
playing high enough.
non-zero possibility.
In this campaign, you guys turning into things that are not necessarily PC races might be also a possibility.
Oh no.
Whoa, I hadn't even thought about that. Crap.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you guys are rolling a D100 when you're selecting races.
Wait, what?
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Anyway, on that more fun note, Cardi,
That means that
Cardi,
I have to consider that when making voices for characters.
Cardi starts walking back towards the Merchants Guild. If you follow him, but you don't absolutely have to. If you do, he goes to the Merchants Guild, goes up to Mary, and starts talking to her about getting stone for the tower and having it delivered to his shop so he can start cutting it to size. And then about getting wagons to take the stone to Dunway. In general, he goes straight to it's business time now. I need to do this before the guild closes.
Hey guys, how about, because we saw what the really good tavern looks like, or really good inn, how about we go to the other one and have dinner and maybe get rooms set up just before we go and get the adventure started?
That sounds like a good plan. I like that idea. Is it really getting that late?
I mean, it's probably getting close on towards dusk.
You probably got about an hour or two,
Yeah.
give or take. None of you are a living clock like Cass is, so you don't have to. You don't have that ability, but you're pretty sure you only got maybe an hour or two before it starts getting dark.
That bastard.
It was this one.
What about Phelan? He's a machine.
Correct, Phelan. Not Phelan. Sokran. That is the correct building for the tavern. Is in fact right across from a brewery.
I think Phelan will be fine. We just need to buy him a longer power cord.
Yeah.
I do have a counterpoint that it may take us more time to get to the adventure if we were to go to the Guildrow Inn, as opposed to the Jade Rapid, which is closer.
That's more exercise, right?
It's
Well-
more exercise, but we don't want to
Which
be
one?
late for the
Which one do we want? New place? Really good place. I don't think there's a bad option here.
I like the new place personally, but
Okay.
Very well.
All right. New place it is. Now we see if the GM has more NPCs ready or not.
Oh, I see.
Checking something.
I feel like the
Oh
other
no!
decision.
I knew exactly why he picked to go there because he wanted to see if I had anything set up for him.
No, legitimately, I made the decision in character. Nathan is about experiences. Everything the character has done so far is about the idea about building experiences and doing
And
things.
totally didn't want to be the only Nathan we had to interact with in the game.
True. All of the NPCs are named Nathan now,
Mm-hmm.
just to make Miner's life more difficult.
Yep. All the NPCs' names are Nathan with a set number of G's or no G's in the front.
Yeah, different
Note
vowels
to
every time.
silence played
As
must
long
be
as it is
identity.
just Nathan
Oh,
and there is
no!
not all the following names after that, I'm happy.
We just had a mistaken identity played, Morden, just so you know.
What?
That's a have fun GM card.
Yes. Literally, the text on the card is have fun GM. It allows him to
Wait.
run absolutely any story arc or any subplot he wants, whether it makes sense or not.
Wait,
Basically, just means
who was it
instead of
targeted
doing
at?
anything I want, no one.
Noctis didn't even target at anybody. He was just like, hey, Morden, present.
Oh no, this is a fireball. This is to whom it may concern.
So,
Let's go.
as you guys are coming up to the Guild Road Tavern, you are hearing shouting. Lots and lots of shouting. There's an odd glow coming from the direction further up the street. You may or may not be hearing the shouting getting slightly louder as it's coming, as if it's coming your way. Quickly, do you guys do anything?
Might be trouble. We might need to
I
help.
get behind Phelan.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try. An idea comes into Billy's head, something that he's been thinking of for the last couple of days. He's going to shape water into his quarrel, and then he's going to shape water again to make the arrows, the bolts that he has covered in ice. And see if that does
Interesting.
anything.
Okay. So yeah, you can have up to 2 instances of the effect. So use the first one to make it look like a bolt, and then the second one to actually
Freeze it.
Yeah.
freeze it so that you could attempt to use it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good sciencing.
It is.
Whether it does anything, I'll let you consider that.
No.
You're
So-
just firing icicles at people.
You're firing an ice bolt. For all intensive purposes, you will absolutely be able to use them as ammo. What I'm going to do though is have you roll me an intelligence check, and we're going to see how usable the ammo is.
Oh, may I use my proficiency in wood carver's tool or in carpentry, since that's a Xanathar's?
It'll give you a advantage.
That's actually awful if you think about it, because bolts normally plug the hole, but if you melt
Yeah.
the icicle,
Yeah, it's a perfect weapon, or at least a perfect
Yep.
murder.
Billy has a mean streak. Jeez.
No. This is whoever this identity was that was given to Billy. This is not Billy.
Oh no. Well.
Also,
Think of
if
it
he
that
could
way.
do it with things that aren't necessarily water, but like liquid poisons, you can just make a bolt out of poison to
I didn't even
deliver the
think about that.
poison.
Since it's not water, I don't know if that would work, but we can try.
That's one of those things that is a GM decision, campaign to campaign.
All right.
And it's one of those things where they'll say yes until you do that, and then they'll go, oh, fuck that, no.
You'll give me advantage, but not the proficiency roll.
It is still your intelligence, but it would be just with advantage. It's the the ability score check with advantage. Yep.
Okay, that's fine. Let me.
Because
Going
you're
to get-
you're. Go on. I'm sorry.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor.
Okay.
I'm going to get ready to switch tokens, and look, and I walk over and try to see what's making noise.
With a 16, you roll as normal with those. With those, the bolt that you made.
Okay. We'll see what happens.
How long does it last?
The both effects last an hour, so should be good.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, like that allowed you to make one bolt, if I remember correctly, because it's not going to allow you to make multiple items, right?
Well, that's the thing. It allows you to shape water, which is, I guess, one shape, but I'm not sure if you're considering like a bunch of bolts a single shape. So it's up to you. I'll let you decide if it's just
How
one.
many
That's fine.
bolts can you make in the area of the spell without any of them touching each other and therefore becoming a combined ish
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of why I was asking if it's a single item. The way I would look at it is you would have to have the item everything connecting to make it one item, and then you could freeze it. That's not to say you can't, make it so that it's the smallest amount of ice connecting everything, and then you just snap them off.
I will
Yeah.
state
I was just about to say nail to
specifically
nails.
the text of the spell says you cause the water to form into simple shapes, plural. So it doesn't have to be just one shape.
Okay.
Within a
so
5-foot cube.
Yeah. So he can.
All right.
So however much water he has within 5 feet, he could make into simple shapes, which can be indeterminate from each other if necessary.
Okay. So yeah, I would give you the. I'll give you a quiver's worth.
Okay, so 20. Okay.
And now they're frozen for an hour. So there you go.
Yep.
That
And
takes
then
2
once that's done, then you got yourself a very very a very big drinking horn, otherwise known as your quiver, unless you
Yeah.
dump it.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold a lot of water. It's not
Uh,
waterproof.
I'll have to refill
No.
my water skin.
This argument doesn't hold much water, but it may be very painful.
It is. It is in fact very painful.
We'll poke
So-
holes in something.
As Nathan cuts the corner and walking towards the guild row, you see in front 2 very large buildings with the university in the back.
Okay.
The building to the north, you see a bunch of people who are wearing different types of armors, using different types of weapons.
Okay.
Well, to the building of the south, on the south, you see a bunch of looks like wizards and casters of other types standing there, and these 2 are not openly fighting, meaning like they're not fireballing each other or shooting arrows at each other, but like
Yep.
they are yelling at each other, and screaming. And there have been you could see that most of the lights and stuff that you were seeing were coming from the wizardy side, because like tempers flaring and prestidigitation and other things are going off randomly just because they're getting really pissed off and not controlling themselves very well.
Yeah. And
None of these people look like they're old at all. These are all look like they're like teenagers and such like that.
yeah, warning cantrips. Yay. Okay.
All the flaps, all the windows are opening and closing on the building.
Like, yeah, you're almost getting the impression that they're not actually controlling what they're doing at all. Like they're lucky that no like flame bolts or anything of that nature have gone flying yet. But like this is turning into a riot very quickly.
No. How bad of a person am I?
You're not gonna shink, are you?
That's that.
How bad of a person am I?
Very bad because it sounds like fun.
Convinced him. No, I'm kidding.
You have a wisdom of 6. You know what you're doing.
I was just voicing the affirmation that he wanted.
Yes.
So that way it can be my
Because
fault,
there
not
are
his fault.
cantrips you can cast that don't necessarily come from your direction and just appear in an area, and it would look like it wasn't us.
I think Rufus has hit the...
Is it a
It's
new
a terrible
experience
question.
to stoke a riot?
Yeah.
Oddly, no, but all right. Who is in the lead of the non warrior, the non wizardy side?
The person in the front would be a guy in half plate
Okay.
carrying it's probably a short sword.
Okay.
In the hand, but it might be longer. Like you're not close enough to see the exact length of it
Right.
from where you're at.
I
Definitely
mean,
not a great sword,
some
but
swords are
not.
longer than others. Some swords are shorter than others. Allegedly, it's how you use it that's important. So, are we reasonably far away that me reasonably casting a cantrip reasonably won't be heard over the din of everyone that's currently fighting?
I don't think it would be hard for the two groups to hear you.
Okay.
Like it's possible someone could see you do it, because like they're not all of them are fighting. There's just a little group in the middle that's kind of yelling at each other at the moment.
I am going to cast Prestidigitation, and in a little used version of Prestidigitation, you instantly clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic foot. We are going to have Mr. Warrior Guy's breeches suddenly be exceptionally soiled. Like Gray coming home from work on a bad day soiled.
He pooped himself.
That is soiled.
We are going to sewer his pants. Not soil, no, sewer.
Roll me deception with no. Roll me stealth with advantage.
Stealth with advantage. We like advantage. Advantage is good until you roll badly, and then what you do is you spend a fate point and do it again. Yeah! 17. Fate point spent for poopy pants. Worth it.
I was gonna say, seems like a good expenditure to me.
Right.
Uh-oh. Oh. Wait, what? Me?
Because
Yeah,
the
it's because I
GM
have
was
you
looked at you
highlighted.
last. It's fine.
Oh.
GM roles often show up as other players randomly. It's okay.
I was like, oh no.
It's a Phantom Billy.
Don't panic until your hit points drop.
So you see the Senor Poopy Pants now is 100% red in the face, is staring directly at the wizard that was in front of him that he had been yelling back and forth with, and punches him. The
Yay.
wizard literally lifts off the ground and goes flying back 5 feet. And then from this point on, what I would like from you guys is that everybody give me a dexterity saving throw.
To avoid a wizard?
Something like that.
Oh, he's flinging poop, isn't he?
No, I was flinging poop. I failed that save so hard.
Oh dear.
Dexterity saving.
Why did we all fail?
Big for yourself.
He flew over your head, you're sure.
Maybe I'm okay.
Only reason you avoided it is because he went over you.
I'm last also. It took too long for me to make those bolts.
So everybody in the group, except for Billy, because Billy did pass, takes 12 points of fire damage.
The
Billy,
fuck just blew
you're going
up?
to take 6.
Yay.
As right next to you, the distillery goes off. So the barrels that are next to you exploded.
Oh no.
Because you are right next to the brewery, and as soon as you did that, the wizards let loose, and these are not. These are a group of basically kids who are learning magic.
I would like
They're
to say
not aiming
it was
well.
not as soon as I did it. It was as soon as the fighter dude pushed the wizard dude. I'm an innocent bystander as far as everyone knows.
You are 100% correct. You are an innocent bystander for as far as everyone is aware that's there.
Okay. I feel
And
better.
this is turning into a giant brawl.
Wait, hold up.
Yay!
Is that where the beer I like was?
Is
You were
14 a
not sure.
success?
He didn't tell you which beer. No, the beer that you liked was the imported one. It was
Yes.
not one of the two. Was not one of the two home brewed or city brewed, whatever.
Is 14 a success?
Okay, yes, I like the rose petal, which is from the capital illicit. Okay, carry on.
14 was
Nothing
an success. Yeah, so you and Billy only take half, so you're both taking 6.
Was 4 a successful save?
No.
Okay.
Ah, got a splinter in my eye.
Your guys are covered in booze because you were right next to the barrels when they went off, essentially. From what you think / hope was a firebolt that hit it, but you're not sure. But you can also tell that the fronts of the building that's next to you is starting to go on fire.
Well,
Because
looks like tastes good
it's a brewery and has lots of flammable things in it.
It's okay. We're innocent bystanders, and we can confirm that the warrior guy started it when he pushed the other guy.
now.
Because that's all we
Okay.
saw.
Well, there's probably explosives in that building. We might want to be getting away from it.
I mean, if there
Yeah.
were explosives in that building, they're now on
Unfortunately,
us.
I don't have spell to put it down. I have spell to let it burn faster, maybe?
So it was
Would this
that
be a
building
good
there?
time for an initiative check?
It really depends on exactly what you guys do in the next 30 seconds.
I mean, I was planning on mostly, watching the chaos more than being a part of the chaos, but I'm good for either.
If you are watching the chaos, so like say you are, watching it, and as it's spreading out, you're moving back, then no, you don't need an initiative check. If you're standing there in the middle, if you're standing there just watching it, then you need an initiative check. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I want to do the play test of the combat abilities of the apothecary, but if we switch to the apothecary and the apothecary does anything to anyone in town that uses any of the apothecary spells, I'm not going to be allowed back in town again.
You're probably correct, because most of the spells are horrendous.
Because they are not nice. There's no nice damage spells there. They're all you're a bad person and should feel bad damage spells. So, because I know which ones I picked. So, I mean,
I feel bad.
I'm just going to kind of watch for now. I'm not planning on getting involved. Are you kidding? You get involved in that fight, suddenly there's poop in your pants. Who wants that?
Well, the fire does alarm me. I'm going to go ahead and immediately start running for the docks.
I would be so upset at you if I thought that you even for a second did that pun intentionally, but that's okay.
What?
Yeah, I would definitely be putting some distance between myself and that building.
I mean, so far we got 2 votes for moving away from the burning building, and 1 vote of I'm going to stand here with popcorn and watch it and not move away at all.
So,
I'm gonna move away because that hurt 3 times as much as me being stabbed with a sword.
So, Jade
wait.
Rabbit, anyone?
Make no mistakes about it.
Jade Rabbit.
I'm still watching what's going on.
I'm
I'm
going
just
towards
backing
the
away.
All right, so everybody starts walking towards the Jade Rabbit. As you're walking towards the Jade Rabbit, you see a group of about 14 armed guards running past you. A couple of them have empty buckets because they're going to bucket brigade it after they beat the hell out of the students that you just left behind.
I'm actually going to help the guards. I ran towards the water. So.
Okay, so you did not go with the rest of them?
No, I was going towards the water in order to use shape water, and I was going to bring the water slowly with me and wash and try to get rid of some of the fire. But if I can help the guards as well.
I mean, the first thing the guards do is they wade in, Billy Club style, and start bashing everything in sight until it stops moving. And once that's done, say about 15 to 20 minutes later, because the guards are absolutely trained and most of the people here are not, so they get beat down very quickly, and some of them might have survived.
I mean, more than if we had turned this into a fight and actually gone in there, that's for sure.
Absolutely, because you guys would have murder faced them all. I mean, it's freaking CR zeros. That's why I didn't bother to make the fight.
Murder hobos.
Morden, I'm looking forward to next week when you just have a giant hole where that brewery used to be.
I am
On the
going to have to make a map.
Yeah.
Billy has been slowly like going back and forth. Like you can move your normal speed. You actually
Yeah.
probably can. No, you're not a rogue, so never mind. You wouldn't be able to run with your spell, but you're able to move your speed with the spell. Walk over, throw water on it. So like you're keeping it from spreading too much, but it's absolutely out of your control. Like you're just kind of slowing it a little bit. You're not actually putting it out entirely.
Whatever 5 feet of water can do at a
Yeah.
time, I'm sure. Yeah, it's slow.
It's that, and you're actually running a decent distance. Like the map is not that like
This
you
is
running
not
from where
5-foot
you're.
scales. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not 5-foot scales. Like you are running minutes to get to the edge of the water and then back. That's why they brought only a few buckets, because it's just like there's a lot of running involved.
Monarch is of the opinion that having no idea what spell Nathan actually cast, it could have been an identify spell, it could have been whatever. There is enough plausible deniability that this is not their problem. It was the city's fault for putting a group of people who could cast fire spells next to a brewery, and we got injured because of that. And therefore, it is the city's fault, and Monarch is not involved and wishes to go back to the Jade Rabbit.
I absolutely agree. This is not our fault in any way. We should head
Yeah.
we should head away from here before anybody plays Connect the Dots.
Yeah, Phelan made the assessment. There's not undead, not his problem.
Billy's helping, so whatever they want to do. But yes, he will eventually, if they let him go to the Jade Rabbit.
Billy, roll a d4 for me.
He can't help it. It's in his nature. I think that's like literally one
You're
of my
fine.
flaws.
Absolutely nothing is going wrong right now. You're fine.
Let's see. What was it? A D4? Okay.
Correct.
All right. A 4. Oh wait, 3.
3's
All
good
right.
roll.
You're fine. So Billy, you happen to be on one of the many runs where you were walking or moving fairly swiftly back to the water. When you just see a kind of a big cloud up in the air and a bright light flash for a second,
Ruh-roh.
and when you come back, the big tanks that are over here aren't here anymore, and there are a couple of guards on the ground. What does Billy do?
There's a couple of guards on the ground. Well, I immediately I'll leave the water where it's at because it'll stay in that shape, whatever shape I put it, for a while. I'm going to run over to the guards and I'm going to check and see if they're okay.
The couple of guards that are on the ground still are alive. But they are definitely not in great shape. You're either, if you're trained in medicine, you could try taking a medicine check to stabilize them. Otherwise, I would still give it to you that you could probably do it. You would just be trying to do it at a disadvantage.
Yeah, he's not a medic. He would definitely be calling out, "There's a man down! Is there a medic somewhere? A doctor?" And he'll try his best, but he's gonna try. Just basically, he's not gonna try. If he knows a little bit about medicine, but not much. And I think he'll try to remember what he used to know, just common medicine. Okay. But I think he's not going to be very effective at it. But we'll see what happens. You said disadvantage?
Yes, you would do it at disadvantage because you're not actually trained in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing something that you normally requires to be trained. And I'm giving you the option with this.
That makes sense. There we go. Wow.
Nice.
Billy absolutely stabilizes both of them.
Oh wow. Good roll.
Billy cannot move them. Billy is not strong enough with the stuff that he has.
Yeah.
To move them in their gear because these are humans and they're fairly bulky. Like they're not little guys. But the flash definitely drew people's attention. So there are people coming out of the houses here, at the very least, to see what's going on.
So I think
And some of them start helping pull the guards that got knocked over away.
yeah. I think what happens
More
is-
guards are showing up. It looks like with the next group that they're going to be able to start handling the fire effectively. But that explosion absolutely did spread it a little bit further than they're really willing to care for.
If I see them, I'll just be like,
Yeah.
"You can the water I've shaped over there. You can. It'll be easier to access." And I definitely think that because of that large roll, I think it's because the adrenaline hit him, and he's actually ripping parts of his very nice jacket, like the undershirt, out, and using that as a tourniquet on the guard's injuries.
Okay.
So he's ripped up his sleeves.
Yep. The two, like I said, the two guards that you got are definitely stabilized. You're not like it takes a little bit for you to do it because, like I said, you're not trained. You absolutely passed. It just takes you minutes to get them to that point. While they were in that state, they're unconscious, but they're not dying. And unless you do something to change that fact, they're not going to die. The other soldiers that were in town, the other guards, they are now have taken over, bailing the water, carrying the water from the river, and they are, because there's probably about say about 20 to 25 of them at this point here out of that are still standing. They are getting it under control. And the people in the houses around it are taking care of the small bits that kind of got blown in their direction.
Okay. I think he stays to help as much as he can, and then he'll eventually make his way to the Jade Rabbit. So if you want to go over there, you can.
Everybody heads to the Jade Rabbit. I'm just going to switch to the tavern for now. This is, the tavern everybody's familiar with. You had to, but it is not the.
It's just map use.
Wrong door.
Definitely wrong door.
Now we're good.
Who used their ticket?
No one.
You guys thought you got rid of me, but you didn't. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. You ain't in that door. Anyway, I'm just switching over to that one for the moment. You go to the Gray Rabbit. Billy, in total, this probably took you about a half hour or so of trying to deal with the problem that was over there while everybody else just kind of walked away.
La 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 la.
By the time you clear up everything that was going on and make it to the Jade Rabbit, it is starting to get dark.
It's not our fault.
So yeah. Well, so what you guys gonna do now that you've decided to, turn a brewery into a bomb?
We're going to order dinner because we did nothing wrong, and after dinner, we're going to go on our adventure.
Okie dokie. So everybody orders.
We didn't do anything that caused that. It was just poor planning on the city's part.
Yeah.
None of this was our fault.
Monarch doesn't cast spells. Monarch doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Nathan could have just been, like, casting augury or something, like, looking far away. Or just trying to identify how powerful the other people are, or casting Dispel Magic. I don't know.
So you are at the Jade Rabbit. Everybody but Billy gets there about 30 minutes earlier. So while Billy's doing all of his fun with the the fire, what are you guys doing?
While Billy's not here yet, we're gonna order some food for him too. Just tell him just to not serve it until he gets here. But we have a +1, and we will get meals for everybody, and we'll sit down and start to have a nice, peaceable conversation. The kind of conversations that people that don't start riots in town have. And then we will also inquire about the possibility of getting rooms for the night just in case. And then when we're done, we'll start prepping situations for going on our adventure that we're going to go on after nightfall.
Okay.
Because
Just the
we're
Warforged
just
eat.
we're just people visiting the big city and paying to go on an adventure, and certainly didn't start any riots. That wasn't us. That was somebody else.
So Nathan, the Harangon, tells you that there's a room there are a couple of rooms open. You guys can have them. They'll be on the 3rd floor again.
Okay.
Um,
Can we have them on a floor where we don't have night terrors involving liches?
what now?
We all had a shared dream involving a lich. I'm not saying it's connected to your establishment. I'm just saying that I can't prove it's not.
He looks. He grabs one of the mugs, looks inside, and says, "What were you drinking?"
Well, I go through the list of everybody's bar tab from last night, or from 2 nights ago.
He scratches his head and goes, I think I might need to throw that stock away. Okay.
I have it.
No.
Why not?
You can have it if you want to try and chase the barrel down.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, I'll let you know when I'm gonna go throw the barrel out if you're still here.
Okay.
But you guys wanted food, right? Apparently, water is the only thing I'm letting you guys drink at this point. So what food did you want?
Whatever you have. I'm not fussy.
Okay.
It would be really, really messed up to say rabbit stew. I'm not going
Womp.
to.
Or
I'm not gonna. No.
Telling the Harangon, hey, can you cook part of you for me and serve it?
No.
No,
That would
that's
be
not
terrifying.
good.
That would be terrifying because I have a hippo head.
I mean, watching you eat is terrifying. It's literally.
Yeah, and what does the Warforged eat though?
The Warforged doesn't have to eat.
Doesn't have to eat, but can.
He can, but he's like. That's the thing about being a Warforged at the moment. He doesn't breathe, he doesn't eat, and he doesn't need to drink. He doesn't even feel thirsty, thirsty or hungry. So if he decides he wants to eat, he absolutely can try, but it's like a grill there, for lack of a better word.
We've all seen AI and what happens anyway.
Right?
You feel like
I'm
that
just gonna
moment
be
where he goes and takes
terrifying
the
and I'm
bite out
gonna
of
eat
it
a
and just
steak.
watches the food fall through his jaw.
I'm gonna eat a
Oh, sorry.
rare steak.
Okay, rare steak it is.
you have
That
some
rare-
venison?
I could probably make it taste like venison. I mean, I got a couple of things back there we might want to try. But not specifically venison. Holy shit. Hey, look at that. Elistair just came online. My bad.
Lies.
I got distracted. But so yeah, I mean, I could try and bring you something that tastes like it. I've never had it before, but I could try. If you can tell me what it tastes like.
When he's gone, I would say, I heard that venison tastes like rabbit.
So he walks to the back, and since no one specifically told him what he wanted outside of Monarch and Sokrin, he comes back to Monarch and hands him a steak. Everybody else gets a steak cooked exactly the same way, with one like chair left open for Billy when Billy gets back. For Sokrin, he sets down a plate that looks like steak.
But tastes like venison?
Right?
It does not taste like venison. Because he's never had it.
Does it
So
taste
he
like
doesn't know what it
people?
tastes like.
Okay, I make it taste like venison.
Pressed.
Not the most entertaining
and I
use of
say-
prestidigitation today, but
You never tasted venison in your life. Let me educate you. Up. Make it taste like venison, I think. Taste. Unless you're vegetarian, I don't know.
I mean, even if I was, I could eat that steak.
Wow.
Wow.
Plant steaks.
Yeah, it's a plant steak. I don't get to make it that often, which is why I was glad that he said that, because that means I got to make it. I mean, we had a guy come through here once that gave us some seeds that they planted and figured out that we could make steaks out of the plants that were made from it.
Can you describe what this person looked like? And I'm just expecting the description to sound like Kevin.
It was actually an ogre. I was trying to be polite and say a person, but
Okay. Not a
ogre
Kevin. That's fine.
in a business suit.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a few years
Okay.
ago. It's really weird because when you plant the seeds and the seeds come out of the ground, they come up like blocks, and you can slice them and just throw them right on the grill.
Interesting.
Not really sure what to call them, but they taste good.
Okay.
About at this point is when Billy comes in.
Hi,
Our
Billy.
group saw the ogre in the business suit.
Yes.
Yes, you absolutely saw the ogre in the business suit.
He looks like that.
He looks exactly like that guy.
I just wasn't sure because I know that we didn't have the experience to know their names, but we did see them.
Yes. So in this case, it would only be Nathan here now at this point is aware of Kevin and Bruno.
Yep.
And all of you know Dalton by name at this point. But yeah, they don't really know the guy, any of their names really either, because Bruno didn't really say a whole lot. Bruno just kind of dropped it off, and then ordered a real steak.
Ironic. I love it.
Hmm.
Definitely wasn't Dalton fishing with seeds. Who knows? It might have been important at some point and not anymore. Maybe is. I don't know. Who knows?
Nathaniel, that's isn't it?
I mean, more than likely, yes. I don't know a lot of ogres in business suits.
Thanks for saving me a seat.
You're welcome.
What?
We ordered you a dinner. I'm not sure what you're going to get, though.
I
Yeah.
have an idea.
They
And-
put a rare steak in front of him. It's not actually Nathan this time. It's one of the. It was a human barmaid that comes up and drops it.
Thank you. Why'd you all leave like that? The people needed help.
Because I didn't want to catch on more fire.
The guards we saw running past seemed like they were going to take things in hand. Didn't really see a point to stay. It just confused things if we stayed.
Additionally, we didn't want to make things worse than they already were.
Yeah, I
Having
have no
people who look
capability
like
with water
us.
and very little strength, so I really wouldn't have been much help. And also no medical training anymore.
I suppose you. all have-
My talent is about putting things on fire, not really fire.
My talent is burning things, not unburning things.
I suppose, but isn't that what being a hero is about?
I mean, being a hero, I'm assuming, is about a lot of things. I wouldn't know because I'm not one. But I can tell you that, with the exception of putting it out by blowing on it, there wasn't much I could do about a building that caught on fire.
There's plenty you can do, Nathan. You can grab a bucket and haul it for other people.
I can, as long as I only want to put less than 4 pounds in that bucket. So, not very effective.
It's fine. It's. I at least. Well, it's just my conscience. It's.
I understand.
I'm not accusing anybody here.
Don't
It's okay.
worry. I'm sure you'll get over it as you get older.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to help people in need, but it was a situation that was created outside of our control.
Completely.
They placed a group of spellcasters who were seemingly not educated on spell safety next to flammable liquid. I consider that to be a situation that could have easily been avoided and was not a situation that we could have helped avoid.
Now, I will tell you that if I still had my original skill set, I would have been more interested in staying to help because I would have had ways that I could have positively affected the situation without getting myself, burned alive in the process. But as it was, I was a little bit more concerned that there was no way that I was going to be able to do anything of value that wouldn't, in fact, just make us have more people that needed healing. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean,
In addition, we all got injured in that first explosion, and
oh yeah.
currently heading towards an adventure. So if we got more injured before that, we don't know what to expect.
speaking
from
of
this
which, we've been
adventure.
sitting here about an hour, right, GM?
Have we had a short rest?
Yes, you can say you guys have.
Short rest time.
Well, I will give everybody a short rest on this one before you guys head to the field.
Thank you.
And
Where's
also, when you guys are going to head to the field, roll. If you're going to try and be sneaky about it, roll a stealth check. If you're not, then don't worry about it.
Sneaky about what?
Exactly.
When you go to the field.
Alright, I'm good after one roll, because I got 2/3 of what I took back. So I'm
Okay.
I'm only as injured as a short sword stabbing me.
That was a pretty sad
that-
D12 roll.
that is going to be my measurement of how damaged am I. Is how many stabs of a Tootsie Pop does it take to get to the center of a gift?
Nice. I approve.
See how this goes.
Alrighty then. So you guys have your meal and you pay for it. In this case, it only cost you probably about let's say 2 gold for everybody.
Okay.
Give me a nice round number, and this will also cover the room. Since you guys complained about the 3rd floor, he's going to put you on the 2nd.
Yay!
Let's put
Because we seem to be your best and most loyal customers so far, do you think you could maybe talk about a fair rate for us?
I think the rate's
that is a
fine.
fair rate, kid.
Oh, I'm sure you could do something a little better. Kind of give him
Roll your persuasion check.
perception.
Yeah, it begins with a P.
I see lower prices in your future.
I see him reaching under the desk.
Oh
What?
no, 28. That's a nat 20.
Fine. We'll do 1 gold for everything.
Okay.
Alright.
Aw, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I cover.
That was very
It's what I
nice,
do.
Haggling.
Mr. Moneybags.
Oh,
Hey, you
you're
get to be
covering
living.
it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, since you're kind
And
of
then
holding
it all
on to the
goes black.
company's money, you kind of have to be paying.
I'm trying to save you money as much as I can now.
To
So
this point, we haven't earned any money, so we're currently just like money.
It's fine.
down here is your is where your tokens are. If you are trying to come here and be stealthy about it because you know your guys are looking for larger creatures at night, you can roll your stealth checks. If you're not being stealthy, you can just ka-chunk and move forward. Don't worry about it.
I would like to be Daltoned.
I believe I put the right token on the field.
Nope.
All right.
I see me. That's all I see.
Yep, because I don't think you have night vision.
I do not.
I may as well.
I have night vision, and I do see gray. And by gray, I mean I see things in gray and also see gray. But yes.
All right.
So before we move forward, Badger had goggles of night. I'm going to say that you guys could have taken him, could have talked him out of him.
Yeah, somebody else would have them.
So because I believe it's Monarch and Phelan, both of you do not have night vision. So you guys can talk amongst yourselves to try and figure that one out while everybody gives me their stuff back.
It would fit on my head.
All right.
Install them in the machine.
We just replaced the lenses, like, peek! Oh, they knocked my glasses off my face. That was a little more literal than I intended.
More real than you needed.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I'll ever get used to this grayscale thing. I'm used to carrying torches.
Are we going to try to be sneaky quiet, or are we going to go in making lots of noise and hope to attract attention?
Well,
some of you are being sneaky at the moment.
I just keep kind of clanking around.
I shall attempt a sneaky.
All right.
Damn it, die!
That doesn't look sneaky.
He attempted a sneaky. So, you guys show up to the field. This field is mostly cleared. Just to your south is a second field that you guys are technically actually starting in.
Right.
Because you are trying to hide, so you're hiding in amongst the corn stalks that are there.
I'm going to light a torch.
If we stand right here and we just move like this, then we're the walker between rows.
I can't see in the dark, and we may as well go over and talk to the people who posted the adventure in the first place.
I'll flank you.
So I've paused.
In a bad way.
In a good way.
I've paused it because
Oh no!
stepping to where you did,
I set off a bomb.
You have not set off a bomb yet, but I need to do some rolls real quick.
Okay.
Anytime fire emerges, there's an explosion.
I'm the Gnathan of the corn. Yes. There's a lot of 18s. Many more 18s than you would expect.
I lit up.
So everybody, I would like for you to roll me an initiative.
Initiative.
As you hear a loud guttural yell. Does any of you speak giant?
I do, actually.
So you hear something yell,
I hear something over that way.
Can I really quickly... Oh, never mind. I guess not.
no, because you weren't the one that they were actually, you are among the 3 people that stepped forward. If it was just you, you would have had a time. Because you probably could have bounced off, because they didn't hear you. They heard Phelan and Gnathan.
They absolutely would have seen the light before they heard any of us, so I'm not taking responsibility for this.
Yeah.
I rolled a 21 stealth check and then decided, nope, I need light.
Yeah, basically that's part of it too. That's the other reason why you weren't getting a.
It's okay. Who needs
surprise
rounds? We just. I have new toys to play with.
I would have been the one surprised. I'll be honest.
So, it is going to start with Phelan. What is Phelan doing?
Relative to me, where did it seem like the sound came from? Up over there?
Yep. Yeah, for up in that direction, northeast side.
All right. So I'm actually going to ready my great sword and do what machinery does.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
And that should have been about 60.
That was 45. You get 50, 55. One
Yeah,
more.
that's good.
right.
I don't want to get too far in front of everyone.
Okay. Next is Gnathan.
Gnathan is going to move his 30 feet forward, so to that square. Oh, which means I now see things. I see 3 ogres, and I see 3 hobgobbles.
3 hobgoblins. You are correct.
And I see them all grouped up nicely, which is bad for them.
Yep. Give me a perception check for. I'm gonna give it to you for free.
A perception check.
Yep.
That would be a 13, sir.
Okay. You notice that the ogres are all carrying multiple burlap sacks.
Oh, that's not good. That really, really limits what I'm about to do next.
Yeah, like they're
Because
Go on.
I could absolutely have done something that would have taken down that entire group, but there's probably peoples in those sacks or livestock of some kind, and I would kind of feel bad about melting the people that hired us. So, we're not going to open up with a 30-foot cone of a corrosive blast. Let's wait on that. And what range are we looking at here? All right, so 65.
You're at 60 feet to the first one.
60 feet to the first one. Okay. And he's carrying a sack.
They have burlap sacks in their hands. Yes. One, like they have a club in one hand and a burlap sack in another. It's basically a bundle of them in their hands.
Okay. Well, fortunately for him, Envenom is exactly 60 feet. So we are going to envenomate him.
Okay. I do not know what that spell does, so let's go over.
Choose a creature you can see within range to inflict with a magical poison. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed saving throw, the target suffers 2d4 poison and becomes poisoned for the spell's duration. While poisoned in this way, the target can make a Constitution saving throw at the end of each of its turns. If it takes 2d4 poison on a failed saving throw, on a success, the spell ends for the target. I don't believe I have any ways to get closer, because I would love to be able to do that, because I can get more than one target if I do.
Can you upcast this spell?
The upcast makes more targets. It doesn't do more damage.
Right, but the targets just have to be within 30 feet of each other.
Okay.
Not within 30 feet of you. If I'm
I was going to say, if you will allow the first target to be within range of the spell, and then the other targets to be within range of him, then
Correct.
yes, then let's do.
Assuming I read the spell correctly, that sounds right.
Okay. I mean, I know GMs that will play it both ways, so let's go with this guy, and this guy, and this guy.
Okay.
So two ogres and a hubble.
I'm assuming the 11 fails.
My DC is a 16.
That one absolutely fails, and the Bubble Brother
The hubble gubble behind him.
is also a fail. So they all fail.
Okay.
So
Dun dun dun.
So they all take 3 points of damage and are now afflicted with the poison condition.
okay.
And at the start of their turn, they have to do it all again. And that will be the end of my turn.
All right. And how much damage did you say again? D3? I mean,
It's
3?
2d4, so it was, and I rolled a 3.
All right. Awesome. And the next person is Billy. What is Billy doing?
All right. I hear some arcane noise in that direction. I heard them like shriek and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. 1, 4, 5, 6, and I don't see much anymore. I don't see as much as anybody else. So
Well, Nathan's the one that has a, super dark vision.
I have dark elf dark vision. I have
Yeah.
dark vision.
and I'm
Yep.
going to.
Basically, you guys you see Nathan cast a
I
spell.
love this map right now where there's a loop of guys that are illuminated in their own field of dark vision, and then there's a torch in the bottom corner, and then in the middle of the map where most of us are is just blackness.
Yep. So what you guys, what you see is him as Nathan casts a spell. You hear multiple people grunt in pain or retch in some cases where they somewhat sound like they're throwing up. And you are sure that it was coming from the northeasterly direction.
I think Billy in this case it's the kind of he's still trying to be silent, and I think he remembers something, and he is going to.
I did miss that second. Thank you.
Okay.
It's in fact the one that you touched.
I get
think-
to do a Duke cantrip. Next turn, they're gonna really hurt.
I think what he's going to do is he's going to imagine. He's going to think. They're hunter gatherers. Maybe they might. We don't really know, but he's already started it off. I think what he'll do is he'll kind of point. He'll point in a direction, as far as he can see out, maybe 30 feet ahead of him, and he'll cast minor illusion, and it shrieks and it yells out in giant. What? Who's out there? And who's out there? State your business, or we'll sorry. State,
All right.
State what you're doing here, or face justice.
Nice.
Okay.
It's going to be like right up here or something. And then I'm
Okay.
going to go ahead and after casting that spell, well, I don't know because it's technically a silent cast because I pointed. Because it's not vocal, and I haven't really revealed my position, so I don't know how you want to roll that. But I can always just stealth again with the bonus action if you need me.
Yeah, minor illusion doesn't have a vocal component to it, so they would hear the yell, and you'll see how they react to it.
Okay. That's my action. I think as a can't do anything as a bonus action, so I think I will call my turn there for now, and just see what the reaction is to that.
Nice.
That pinprick of light is just me marking where you're
The
coming
illusion.
from.
Yep. No, that makes sense. It's a good way to do it.
Because on this map, that's going to stand out the most.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it is one of the Hobbs' turns.
Bring in Hobbs.
Hollows.
No, that's not nice.
Dun dun dun.
Don't pass saving throws. That's not nice.
The Hobgoblin runs forward. He has moved far enough to where he can just see Phelan. So now that means Phelan can see him. He has his longbow out, and he is going to take a shot at Phelan. But you hear him yell back, "Don't pay attention to it. We could kill them all anyway. It don't matter."
That is a terrible judgment call on your part, sir.
I warned you.
He misses Phelan. Next is the Hobgoblin that needs to take another. It was Con, correct?
Yes.
Con save. What was the DC again?
16.
16.
He passes.
Oh, okay. So he is no longer
Poisoned.
poisoned.
Do
Wouldn't he have? Did he roll disadvantage on that intelligence saving throw if he was poisoned, or no?
No, it was a different one. It was a different one that was running forward. It was one that had not been touched yet.
And poison is ability check and attack roll, not saving throws.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
And
re-rolling
there
this guy
is
to
an
add him back.
ability that could cause him to have disadvantage on trying to remove my poisons, but only spells to remove it or abilities to remove it, not the saving throws themselves. So it's fine.
Okay.
We all still good.
And that was at the start of the turn I rolled to see if that happened, correct?
Yes.
So he is no longer poisoned. He will also run forward. He will be able to get close enough to take a shot at Phelan, because Phelan is still the current target, because he's the only one any of them can see.
Oof.
This one.
Hey, Gray, what's your next character idea?
It's only 8. It's not too bad. So he runs forward, he takes his shot, and out of pure blind luck, the shot lands directly in the chest area. You see the the fletching sticking out of the front, and the arrow butt sticking out the back.
It's gonna need some
On a person that might be slightly detrimental, but you're a warforged. You don't have any hearts, right? That was the second Hobgoblin. The third one is going to do basically the same thing. I just got to see if you can get far enough to actually be able to see, which I don't think he's going to be able to. The answer is no. No, he cannot. So he just moves forward. The first of the ogres, which I believe they are 40. Yep. They are a bit faster.
Don't worry, they'll see soon enough.
The ogre is going to actually run towards the voice. And then once he runs towards the voice, he sees Phelan and will run towards Phelan.
No, he's got to get close enough to see me, and that's bad.
And he... Yep, I was right. He will get to here. After that, it's Monarch's turn.
Right.
What does Monarch do?
Go for it, Monarch.
Monarch is going to try and find something first. So I've got 40 feet of movement. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Is this an empty field?
Oh,
or-
Yes.
sorry, that was
Yes,
all
please.
diagonal, so I don't know if you
That's
want to...
correct.
I count the diagonals as
Yeah.
5 feet. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I am not. I am not that up one over one, up one over one. I don't go through all that. It's fine.
That's Gnathan. I didn't even realize you were there.
I know. I had
trust
trouble
me,
finding me. That's how good it was.
I had to highlight the whole field to find out exactly where he was.
I had to click my name in the initiative order to figure out where I was on the field because I lost me.
Yep. So yeah, you step
35.
in. Yep.
40. Okay, I'm seeing an ogre.
You are seeing an ogre.
That is currently the only thing I can see right now.
That's okay. He's
So-
the closest.
Alright, I will pull out a dart from my pack, and so it's this long, slender sharpened rod of metal. I'll just pull it out of my pouch and whoop, throw one.
That'll hit.
Okay, normal damage. 8 points of piercing damage. I have multi-attack, right?
At
Yes, I
level 5, you do, yes.
Okay. Then I will throw an extra dart. Oh well.
Using the rules for that, you drop one, so you would be dropping down to 11 for your initiative, so that Sokrin would go first next time.
Okay, so that's all. Also, I will expend one of my uses of Astral Spark. So that means that they also take 3 force damage from that first hit.
Ooh.
As the
Okay.
key flows from my body through the dart and pierces into their body when it strikes them.
Nice.
And that is going to be my... I'm also going to spend a key point and use patient defense. And then that'll be my turn.
Okay. How many more key points you got?
We just had a couple of long rests, so I've only used the one, so it's 4.
Yeah, so he's
right
back to
now.
full.
I thought you just used 2, because I thought you just used Astral Spark and then...
No,
Spark is a
Astral
racial
Spark is
Oh.
a racial ability.
Oh, right.
He just
Oh.
he just used.
Yep. I
so-
misremembered.
No worries. So patient defense, I spent a key point to take dodge action on my turn.
Yep.
So
So now it's Sokrin's turn.
Dodging.
To move my 30 feet. I only see that one ogre.
It's okay. Take him out. He's the closest. And try to actually hit him with weapons instead of, entertainment devices.
This might do something stupid because the game just brought me to the user management settings. I don't know why I just did that.
We might reload,
So when I hit,
but we'll be fine.
that's why I'm warning everybody, because I'm hitting the save and return, so it doesn't do anything.
I screenshotted just in case we lose our initiatives, but I don't think we will.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to cast Ray of Frost.
Yay!
Yep. Yep, you absolutely hit the ogre. Roll your damage.
Ooh!
Oof. All right.
14 point of damage, and he's slowed by 10 feet, I think.
By 10 feet, correct. Yep. He is slower than normal. I'm just going to put the down arrow on him because it's going to be my reminder that
Right.
he's slowed.
Yep. Is he bloodied?
right.
Is he bloodied?
He is not.
Damn it. Okay.
Getting there, but he not.
All right. Come
So,
on. Come on, poison ogres.
yep, poison ogres are last. Saving throw, DC 16. He fails. So roll your 2d4.
And he will take 3 more. And still poisoned.
Yep. So he can move as normal. He just
Yep.
has
He can move as normal. He has
Disadvantage.
disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
and he runs all the way up to Nathan.
We do not like that.
The other ogre is going to make his constitution test and see if he is still having problems. DC is if I match it or beat it, correct?
Yep.
All right. So then he is no longer.
Hold
unless
on.
You're
Can I throw a card on that?
sure.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a -1 card on him.
All right. So roll your
Very
d4.
nice.
You really like 3 right now.
I do, but it's okay because 3 is like me too.
It's rule
And
3.
this one will run
save for you.
all the. This one will run all the way up to Phelan. Smash you, metal man.
Good luck.
And it is now top of the initiative. So Phelan, what you gonna do? You got big ogre in your face, and he smells kind of bad, and he's saying he's gonna smash you. By the way, everybody can do a perception check if you like.
I was going to ask about that on my turn, so that's nice.
Yep. Now that they're closer and in the light, it's a lot easier to see what they got in their hand.
I perceive things.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
You and Sokrin do not. All right. So Billy, Monarch, and Phelan see that the ogres are carrying bags. The majority of the bags are empty. There are a couple of bags that are like partially full. Some of them look a little bloody. You can't really see what's in them, but none of them are wiggling or anything like that. So you're pretty sure there's nothing alive in the bags?
Are they the size to hold people who could be unconscious?
They absolutely could be.
Okay.
They could hold a body if they wanted to. They are sacks that look like they were made specifically for the ogres to be able to use, like to hold in one hand and walk around with, which means they could probably hold a medium creature fairly easily.
Hey, Mogwai.
It would take up most of the bag. But
That makes sense. Okay, cool.
Oh, brutes.
Okay. So you hear Phelan let loose a kind of tinny sounding, almost wolf growl because I am raging.
Ooh.
bring on the wage.
Oop. Hit the wrong button.
Billy has flashbacks to another comrade that died.
And I am going to just attack the ogre who was planning on smashing me.
Yeah, you absolutely smash him.
Yeah, and I did do that, right? And I was supposed to get advantage.
When you rage, you as a barbarian, you have a feature that gives you advantage. Excuse me, if you choose to use it, which is the reckless attack.
And the good thing is that guy won't be able to get advantage on you because he gets disadvantage from being poisoned.
Poisoned. Yep. So in this case, it's
Gotcha.
actually working well in your favor. But yes, just bear that in mind. Your rage gives you other things, but it does not give you advantage innately. It is another feature, and that feature makes it so they have advantage against you when you swing.
It's fine.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, my push to talk is alt, so I guess it rolled advantage for me because I
Yes.
was holding that out while I was
I
talking.
mean, honestly, in this particular case, there's just almost no reason not to once you start raging. I'll be honest with you.
You just want to
Hmm.
rage. Just rage and then just go hard hitting. It's fine.
Yeah, rage and then reckless. I mean, because you're fishing for Chris at that point.
Gotcha.
Do you also
Especially-
have any greatsword feats?
He does have the great weapon feat. Great weapon master feat.
Oh, this is gonna be messy then.
Nice.
So yeah, that's when he crits. He gets to swing again, and you can take a -5 to your swing and get a +10 to your damage. Basically, every time you swing.
And I
You just gotta
recommend doing
declare
it
it beforehand.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't declare it, but that is definitely
I mean,
a hit.
I think we can all agree that that's a very Greymane thing to do. And if he had remembered it was there, he would have been doing it that way.
That's part of the reason why I'm bringing it up. Yep. If
Yeah.
you wanted, if you're sure you would have used it, you absolutely can take it because with the +5, with the -5, you're still going to hit anyway.
Do it.
Yeah, I would have.
You would've.
min-maxing that damage.
Absolutely. Do it.
Smite
Especially-
him
Right,
with
but-
your executioner sword.
Especially since he was insulting me.
Yep.
Yep.
Do it. Off
So
with his
roll your
heads.
damage with a +10.
Plus 12 because the rage bonus as well.
Oh, yeah. Let's see
Or
if it
did
adds that.
increase?
Okay, currently I got 2d6 slashing +4 at bonus. So that's what it.
So 12 on top of that.
So that would be his strength bonus, so it did not add that, so it is 12 more on that.
Yep, so 12 on top of that. So 27.
And that's attack number 1, sir.
Hmm.
Yeah, roll your next attack, sir.
Yep.
Also with advantage.
Yep,
So,
still got advantage because you did your first reckless attack.
Yeah!
Yep.
And then
That's
the
gonna hit.
weapon extra 20 to hit.
Yep. I was doing the mental math. And that's another 12 on top of that.
So that's 19 more.
So
Welcome to the Barbarian Beat Stick Party.
Yeah.
So the equivalent of what Gray did is he ran up to it, and in one swing he lopped off a hand, and on the second swing he lopped it off at the shoulder. It's still alive, but it is absolutely bloodied and about to die.
Yay!
after delivering the second shot, well, it's your turn now.
Ooh.
Alrighty then, Gnathan, what are you doing, sir?
Gnathan is going to give him an attack of opportunity.
And bravely run away.
And bravely run away.
So Robin,
Gonna hide behind a hippo.
He misses.
I will bring up that that would have been at disadvantage, but it's okay. I'll allow him to miss.
See if he rolls in that one.
And from here, bravely hiding behind my hippo, I will fire off a bacterial barrage cantrip.
Brutal.
Bertle is right. This class is all about being Bertle.
That is so close to a critical.
Mhm.
Bacterial barrage. I shall read from the Book of Armaments. You attack a creature in range with a quick spreading infection that takes damage of existing conditions. Make a ranged spell against the target. On a hit, the infection does 1d8 necrotic damage per target. If the target is suffering from the poisoned condition, ding, or a disease, it instead takes 1d12 necrotic damage. And this damage is also increased by 1 die at 5th level. So, that will in fact now be 2d12. Thank you for playing.
Ouch.
9.
I mean, that could have been better.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
I mean, you gotta think that's all the damage your other spell did.
That's
total
true.
So far.
And more importantly, at this point, I'm making 2 of their big meat stacks have disadvantage and taking a little bit of damage and making them not have advantage on Greymane. I'm doing a pretty good amount of field control here for a
Yeah.
5th level character.
Mhm.
Using 1 spell slot and a cantrip. So I'm okay with it so far.
So the
I will
Next-
use I will use the other spell slot in a minute on one of the new spells, just so that I get to say it and describe the effect.
Jeez. That's ominous.
Yep.
Psyker X knows which one it is. I was hoping they had a wizard, but that's okay. But I'm okay with
so-
them not having a wizard.
The next one is the first hobgoblin, because I accidentally did Metal of Order last time. My bad.
That's all right.
That hobgoblin disappears from everybody but Nathan's line of sight, and Nathan has this uncomfortable feeling that he's being looked at.
Okay. Which one is it?
The one all the way in the back, because he moved away, because
Ooh,
now he
okay.
doesn't have to worry about it because you're in the light.
Well, I know, but that's fine.
So he hits with an 18,
What did he hit me with?
longbow.
Oh, 95 feet. Okay.
Yeah. And does 7 points of damage.
Ow!
Next on the list is Billy. What does Billy do?
Oh,
Question.
um,
Is
dang it,
Envenom a
Also can't see
concentration
him, right?
spell?
I couldn't see that hobgoblin, right?
Nope.
No, you cannot see the hobgoblin. The only thing you can see is the ogres from your position.
Okay. And I apologize, actually, I have to call myself out on this. Technically, I can only move at 15 feet while being stealth, so I am probably not stealthed. You have to move at half speed. So that's my fault.
Also, I'm gonna call myself out on this. We switched to a counter that had 38 hit points when I should have only been at 35 because I didn't get fully healed after the brewery went boom. So I just took an extra 3 points of damage. So we're kosher.
And you're also have to roll a concentration.
I do have to
For
roll a
the
concentration.
You are correct, Sokrin.
Let's see. So on my turn, I'll go ahead and seems like they have those guys, and I see them trying to target from far away. I'm going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3 rush this way. 4,
Yeah.
5, 6. Oopsies. Okay, there we go. He didn't go any farther.
Okay.
And then I will go ahead and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dash, and then I'm going to use my goblin feature to go ahead and just kind of opt if am I in like thick cover or not?
No, you're pretty much in like the
Is
ground
this
is tilled, but it's pretty much an open field. Like the
Okay.
reason you guys were able to hide initially is because just south of where the map technically starts is another field that had corn in it that hadn't been harvested yet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you were hiding there. Everybody kind of got called out the moment that Monarch lit the torch because you could see the torch from anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. You can't see.
Yep.
You're going to light a torch.
Nope.
Makes
Totally
sense.
fine. Totally fine.
So, and right now everything that you're fighting has dark vision, can see you clearly.
Got it. Okay. I will go ahead and use my bonus action to quicken spell. And so I have to lower my. Where's my action? Here we go. So I'll go down to 3 of those, and I reach into my pocket and I pull out my wand, and I really quickly, I'll say to him, "You were warned," and I'll think what I'll do is I will cast. I'm gonna cast Magic Missile at 3rd level. And I'll say, Ballista, and let's see if that will do anything. Oh, a Magic Missile! I just automatically hit.
Yep.
I'm going to cast it all on the guy that shot Nathan.
The guy who shot Nathan is the one all the way back here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can get him, but I mean, taking out any of them is fine.
He can just barely see him, so he's within line of sight.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, I can see him, and I believe Magic Missile is like a 90, 100.
It's at least 60, and you're only 50, so you're good.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's go with that.
Yeah, if you can see him, you can hit him. Is basically what it's at right
Yep.
now.
Okay.
Roll your magic missile, and you're doing it at 3rd level, so it's 5 bolts, correct?
Correct.
Yes. 5 bolts.
So it's whatever that D4 is times 5.
Okay. Damage. Here it is.
Yep. Click the magic missile; it'll show up on the side, and then just click damage.
Okay. And then do I?
If you can, click the little targeting icon on the top left-hand side and click the guy you're attacking before you
Oh.
roll the damage.
Thank you. I'm constantly trying to remember that in this game.
It's fine.
It's
It
no
takes
problem.
a while to get used to Foundry.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't always work, so
There is
it
that
is
too.
what it is.
Okay. And then how do I get the roll to go better or
What do you mean go better?
situational bonus? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, if you have some kind of situational bonus, you can use.
Yeah.
You can add to that, but
It's technically upcast, so I would do 2d4 plus 2, correct?
no, it just adds bolts. If I remember right.
Yeah,
for
it still
magic
does the
missile.
1d4 plus 1. It just will add 2 extra bolts to it. And that'll all get multiplied at the end.
Oh.
Yeah, just roll your damage as normal, and instead of me doing it by times 3, because you upcast it twice, I'd be doing it times 5.
So that makes 20 damage.
Yep, that makes 20 damage. You
Oh, I
hit.
see.
You see the 5 bolts rush in. The hobgoblin with his shield looks like he, with his longbow out, turns and looks like he's about to try and run away and duck for cover. And you just see all 5 of the bolts strike him at once.
Nice.
He falls over and does not get back up.
Ladies and gentlemen, they have less than 20 hit points.
And I just go, he was much more easier to. The one I fought in the past was much stronger than that.
I'm okay with that.
The hobgoblin here, having seen you attack, his buddy, is going to run forward to go after you, Billy. He pulls out his longsword and his shield.
Oh no.
He is going to take a swing at Billy. Let's see what happens when he swings at Billy. He hits the Billy. I wonder why that didn't work.
I'm going to use. I think what's going to happen is he's going to say that line and he's going to cast silvery barbs, not knowing what it is. So I'll give him disadvantage,
Okay.
or
It's
at
not
least
even
I'll make him
disadvantage.
reroll.
He has to re-roll and
Yeah.
take the lower of the 2.
Gotcha.
It's a retroactive disadvantage.
Yeah,
Which
so he
definitely
rolls a
missed.
5, so he misses.
It worked. That's amazing. All right.
All right. And the other hobgoblin's going to go.
And then the other half of silvery barbs.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's going to go
Honestly,
here.
that spell at first level should be one half or the other.
It's honestly, I didn't pick the spell. I wouldn't
know.
have picked it. But
No,
hey,
it's no
I was
problem.
given.
No, not a problem.
Yep.
I like it.
In my other
I-
campaign, we have decided that it's a 3rd level spell, but works as written.
He hits Billy because of the advantage.
Okay, I can't use silvery barbs a second time. So.
Nope. And Billy will take 5 points of damage.
Combat advantage.
All right. So Billy is now surrounded by 2 hobgoblins.
Don't worry, Billy, you got this.
Next in the list is the
Sloger.
Slowdoger. Who
Sloger.
Chunk steps up, looks at Phelan, and goes smash. Let's
He
see how well he
unfortunately
smashes.
still has
He
advantage.
has advantage on it.
Yeah.
And he hits. Well, I mean, the upside is he there's the downside is he had advantage. The upside is that I believe because you're raging, it's half damage.
Yep.
So it took 6. It took 12. It was only supposed to take 6. So you can add 6 hit points back.
There's probably a programmable for that. I'll look into it. We haven't had a barber player yet, so I haven't had to worry about it.
I just basically gave him non-magical physical
Yeah,
resistance.
that
So
works.
it should calculate properly from now on.
Good.
I
Good.
just got to remember to take that off later.
Nah, just leave it. It's fine.
Sokrin, it's your turn. What is Sokrin doing? He's just playing his drum, right?
Yeah, he's going to have a little smile take his staff, point it forward, just back of Vagogre, around here, and a giant ball of fire explode at that area, hitting that both ogres and the hobgoblin here, and hopefully missing everybody else if I calculated correctly.
So you're casting Fireball?
Yes. I mean,
That is not where I'm trying to put it. Give me 1 second. So you'd be able to either get both ogres. Your best spot is right here, which will get everything, including Billy, if you're trying to maximize targets. But if you're just trying to if you're trying to avoid hitting Billy, you would either get 2 ogres or you would get an ogre and a hobgoblin. Or actually, no, right here. This would be the best. Because this will get the 2 ogres that are on Phelan and the hobgoblin that Billy's fighting.
that's exactly where I wanted to put.
Cool.
All right, so roll your damage for the fireball.
Goodness gracious.
And the fireball flies in, and you see the hobgoblin, or Billy Phelan, and you would actually still see him too. Nathan see the hobgoblin go kaboom, and the ogre falls over dead. That was already missing an arm.
Nice.
So, do you have anything else you're doing, Token?
I think I'm good.
I
I've attracted a bit much attention, so I'm going to probably move back a bit.
It's a good call.
I drew a lot of attention with that. I should probably not be here anymore.
Right?
Exactly.
All right. So after that is Monarch. So Monarch, what you doing?
Oh, right. I was after Sokaran. I forgot that I got moved down into the order. That's my bad.
Correct. Yeah, you got moved below Soka and following the same rules that we use on Light Darkness. Anytime you roll a 1 for your attacks or almost anything, you drop one position in initiative. So
that's the first time this has come up in the campaign.
Correct. That's why I'm bringing it. That's why I'm bringing it up, because it had occurred to me when I did it that I didn't explain why I did it.
Okay. So, all right. I'm debating whether to bring the torch with me or not. Yeah, I think I will. 5, 10. So I'm running up to the ogres. I'm gonna kick one of them in the shin.
Which one you targeting?
The slowed one.
Okay.
I believe he would get advantage on a melee attack.
He does get advantage.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, since I'm raging.
Yep, he is doing a melee attack within range of someone with a totem of the wolf. So yeah.
So
Ooh.
normal strike. All right, 23 to hit,
Yep. Roll your damage.
and then normal damage. 6 points of
Okay.
bludgeoning,
It's a
He
good thing
is
you
not
rolled
dead.
minimum. Jeez.
and then I'll take another strike at advantage.
Nice advantage.
Yay for advantage.
Yay.
8 points of bludgeoning. And you know what? I'm gonna use another.
You're gonna use another. He's dead, Jim.
I'm gonna use
There's another one nearby.
Key point, and oh, he's dead.
Yes.
Yeah, the target you were just swinging at is dead.
You
sir.
beat him to death.
Okay, so I kick him in the shin, bring him down, and then just sort of like turn his arm around so that he impales himself on his club and falls on it. Then
Nice.
I'll use another key point and just flurry of blows on the other guy. So, advantage on the other guy, 17 to hit.
Wait,
Hits.
10 points of bludgeoning, and then last strike at advantage, 25 to hit, normal damage, 11 points of
That wolf
bludgeoning.
mark is brutal, man.
And then I will also burn another use of my astral spark, so that last strike does an additional 3 points of force damage. So yeah,
He is bloodied.
that'll be my turn. Okay, we've decided that Gray and I should stand next to each
Yes,
other more
yes, we
often.
have. Yes, do that all the time.
Shoulder to shoulder.
So yeah. What happens is it's the ogre's turn. The ogre looks at this, looks down at the monk, and you just hear him yell, "Bad magic!" And
But before he does that, bad magic says he needs to make another Constitution save.
right, I forgot about that. So let's do that part first.
Fail. 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 Good.
He does.
Okay.
Roll your d4. 2d4, excuse me.
That is 6 more points of damage and disadvantage on his attacks.
Oh, please.
Okay. And he uses a disengage action and runs the hell away. That is his turn.
does he have a bag? Was he the one with the bag?
All of them had bags. He dropped the bag and
Okay.
started running away.
Okay.
Now, did he have a movement debuff on him? Oh no, it was
No.
the other guy.
No, that was the other one. Yeah,
Okay.
he was running it. He was running normal speed. At top of the order, it's Phelan's turn. What you doing, Phelan?
That is the last one that I can see. So,
Correct.
all right, I am obviously going to advance.
Just
Mhm.
run through the dead bodies.
And he's
Jump.
within 40 feet, so you're fine.
Springboard off of the dead ogre.
Wait. Can we talk about this junk?
Okay, unfortunately, I do not get advantage. Well,
You do if you decide
Yeah.
to use reckless attack.
I was gonna say it's worth it to use the
Reckless.
reckless attack.
Reckless.
Or it's
Reckless
always
minus
worth
5 to hit plus 10 to damage. Just
Yeah,
always.
It's with your ability to constantly get advantage. It's always worth it to use the reckless attack and
Yeah.
the great weapon strikes.
Yeah.
It hits. Tell me how you kill this thing, because the plus to your damage is higher than his health.
Nice.
We
I
warned.
basically run right in, and the last second I plant my foot, drive the blade straight through him, lift him up, and then just check my strike to let the body slide back up off and then hit the dirt.
Nice.
Don't get in the way of the train.
Exactly.
I've seen that in real life happen. I've been a victim of that in real life.
Ow!
With
Just without
marked
the actual
weapons.
impaling.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
a spear shot 4 inches below my Adam's apple on my steel gorget. It lifted me up, threw me over 3 wide hay bales that were stacked too high. My feet didn't even touch.
Dang. Gnomio, what you doing?
Gnomio is going to.
Because right now it's you and Phelan, I think, are the only ones who can see the last thing alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
there's another thing, Nick.
yeah, there's
still can
the
move.
ogre that ran away from us.
Hey.
It's the one that yelled bad magic and ran away.
Oh, well, then I would
Tiger
continue
doesn't
moving.
even use magic, mind you.
Do you have the ability to move with his bonus action? Because that's all
I
that's
did-
left, yeah.
No. Okay,
should
you're
have
fair
5
enough.
should have 5 feet.
Like, yeah, you can move to where you can move forward 5 feet, but you would not be
Yeah,
able to
that's
actually
right.
get to him. Yeah, because it charging is not an action anymore.
Yeah, that was the other character I was going to play.
Yep, that's a feat now.
man, I can't
65
use
feet.
ocular necrosis because he's out of range.
Measure again.
It's only 30-foot range. He's pretty out of range.
Okay. I thought it was the you were off by the 5. I was just like, move it down 1. I'll give it D if it's only like 5 feet off.
No, it was like 30 feet off. However,
Use a fate point, extend the range. Oh,
I mean,
I'm
sure.
going to use a fate point for a bonus action that I turn into a movement.
I will allow it just because I want to see you use the spell.
Okay, so now we can target this guy up here with Ocular Necrosis. Make a ranged spell attack against a target you can see within range. If you hit, you whack the creature with a deadly toxin that causes their eyes to bleed. The target takes, at the current spell level, 2d6 damage. 3d6 damage, and is blinded until the beginning of their next turn.
Okay. Use your spell of
Because that's not
horrificness.
terrifying or anything.
The spell is terrifying, but the damage is a bit lacking for a 3rd level spell.
But it's the blindness is a big deal.
Yeah,
You have a
it's,
blindness for 1 turn only?
yeah, but against a lot of targets. I mean, the biggest problem is that it's also short range, right? Like, most of the targets you'd want to use this against are going to be things that have a range of greater than 30 feet. That's the biggest problem I see. If it was a range of 60, this spell would be ridiculously good. At 30, it's only situational. However,
Well, it's
I
not.
think Gray gave you advantage, and then Mog
Yes,
did a
I
minus
did.
1.
all right, well, we'll go crit fishing, but that's fine. So we hit.
You still hit.
So he takes 9 points of damage, is still poisoned from my concentration ability, and is blind until the end of my next turn.
That spell goes under the war crime section of the.
It
D&D.
really does. But I mean, imagine hitting a caster or an archer, or I mean, there's a whole lot of times where this spell is going to be ridiculously good. Although
This spell and Maddening Darkness go under the war crime section.
I mean, corrosive blast is fetid blade. There's a bunch of them, but I really think
Pestilence?
that pestilence.
The apothecary is.
I really think the best way to play the apothecary is with spell sniper, because then you're going to get much better range on everything, and then it's worth it.
All right. So Billy's turn.
I'm just going to say,
Yeah, right, Mogwai? Yep.
I think they've learned a lesson, and I will go ahead and just start walking towards okay, there we go. I'm just going to start walking towards the one I downed with my thing, with my missiles, and I'll put my wand away.
Okay.
Pretty confident that we've defeated them. Never
So
mind, that's a bloody bag, didn't I? I'd probably immediately rush over to them.
Oh, Jesus, I should have just started with pestilence from the start. I didn't realize that had a range of 90 feet. I am sorry, guys. I made this all so much more difficult.
next is Sokrin. What does Sokrin do?
Spells, new class, and you're fine.
You just saved more than a lot of headache having to track
To
exhaustion level.
track
number
exhaustion on 6 targets? Yeah.
Yes, and you have to succeed on 3 spell saving throw.
Yep.
Yep.
When the spell, so you have to track the number of success.
So yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
check those bad.
I'm gonna say I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that, but at the same time, it still would have been one of those things to deal with. It would have been interesting. What was Sokrin doing again?
My turn.
Yes, it is your turn.
I'm just going to dash 60 feet. 'Cause I don't see anything from here.
Okay. So after Sokrin is Monarch. What does Monarch do?
Don't
All
see
right,
anything.
Monarch is not able to see the creature, but is gonna run in the direction that people are shooting, so 5, 10, 35, 40. I can barely make them out. So, you know what? I'll spend another key point, bringing me down to 2, and I will step of the wind to dash.
All right. Yep. You'll be able to get right up next to him.
All right, and then let's smacka. He's blind, so I get advantage, right?
Correct.
All right, so a 1, 21 to hit.
Hit. How do you kill him?
Basically, I just go running up behind this poor ogre, kick him in the shin, bring him down, and then he falls and has an unfortunate accident.
While blinded, so probably pretty easy to trip. Oh, by the way, you have advantage to hit him because he's blind.
I rolled advantage.
We added that in already.
Okay, just making sure. I'm just keeping track of how valuable things are. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And with that, that is the end of the combat.
Yay!
You guys have murdered the ogres who were carrying burlap sacks and the hobgoblins who were following them, at the very least, to the fields.
And all of the gruesome things I did in the dark, so no one saw any of it. So it's fine, and I'm still a good guy.
We'll discard this torch. It's seen too much.
We'll discard this.
The torch has seen some man. I check the bags. I start checking the sacks so that if there's anybody injured, we can heal them.
I'm immediately
You do not see any people.
Because I have healing now. I can help people now, unlike my last build.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do not see people in the bag.
Okay.
You do see some creatures in the bag, like as they were coming to the field, they bludgeoned a couple things or hit them with the javelins, or the hobs shot them and they threw them into the bag.
Okay.
The bags, for the most part, were empty.
Billy breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah, the little bits of blood you were seeing were just from the animals that they've found along the way. You do find a deer in there, though.
As we're closing out and winding down, I scan the area to look for the farmhouse because I feel that we should go and let them know that their problem has been taken care of.
Okay. You head to the farmhouse.
Don't worry about the slightly burnt feet.
Billy is going to go ahead and just start walking towards the tavern they're staying, and he's going to say, I need a minute.
All right.
I need a minute, and you can take care of the rest of this. And he's going to head out.
Okay.
And I gotta head out. 'Cause I have
No
to
worries,
sleep.
man. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Good night, man.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm sorry, I was being talked at. We did roll the bodies, right?
You checked the bags. If Phelan went and checked the bodies, Phelan would have found about 8 silvers worth of like coinage on them. More like you see a couple, like you see some battered chainmail suits and some battered weaponry, but for the most part, the coinage is the only actual valuables. Inside the sack, you found mostly like animals that they apparently caught like along the way. Nothing. There were no bodies or anything like that inside.
I picked the sack with the eminals and head towards the house then.
Alrighty.
May I have a torch for this map as well?
This map is actually going to be lit.
Oh, okay.
I just did not actually get that far. Sorry about that. I put the walls in and forgot to put the torches in, but that's okay. This is the only room that needs to be lit at the moment.
Okay, I will dispose of my torch so that nobody will tell of Nathan's crimes.
It's not my fault.
You come up to the farmhouse. You see the lights are on behind the door. Like the door has a little opening, so that they say an opening, but it's more like a little latch that they can slide slide open to look through it. They see you guys basically coming forward because that latch is already open because they could hear the ogres yelling and everything else. Because you're not that terribly far away from where the fight happened. They see you coming up, and who was actually the first person to come to the door?
I mean, probably would have been me, just because I was heading towards the house first. But if somebody decides they want to walk past me, I'm not going to object.
I mean, I had run after the ogre, so I was farther away. So
Okay.
probably not me.
So then, Plague Doctor Nathan shows up at the door first, and you hear
People screaming.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey, don't worry, I'm the good guys.
Says every
Good.
bad guy ever.
Good guys don't
Shush.
normally dress like that.
They do when they're trying to sneak up on ogres that are messing with your farm. Which
Wait,
we
you-
did. And they were. And they're not anymore.
Wait, you took you took the request then?
Yes. Yes, I paid for that adventure, and it was wonderful. Thank you.
Hate? Never mind. Okay. Did you take care of whatever it was?
Yes. Just so you know, it was some ogres and hobgoblins.
They're not from around here.
I didn't think so, but that's what your problem was, apparently. It was 3 ogres and 3 hobgoblins. They had...
They are also very dead now.
Yes. They had some sacks on them because apparently they were traveling and like they had done some hunting along the way here, so I guess they're traveling some kind of a distance. We might try to see if we can track where they were coming from in the morning to try to make things safer for you, but there's no way we're going to be able to find those tracks until at least dawn.
Oh, okay. The Adventurers Guild has the coinage. Thank you for
Yes,
letting
they
us
do.
know. We'll be able to sleep better because of that.
You're welcome.
All right.
Have a good night.
You too.
Close,
Bye.
latch. You hear like
Get
3
out
more
of our
latches.
house.
Exactly. And you close as soon as the last one of you leaves. You hear the door latches.
You're a robot and a hippo and an evil
Yeah.
and an evil plague doctor. Get out of our house.
Probably
Yeah.
for the best that I was not the one who they opened the door to.
Couldn't have been much worse.
Coming up to the house, I would just set the bag with the animals on their porch.
Okay. So you're basically leaving the food to them.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't say anything. I just leave it there.
Okay. Yeah, they'll find it in the morning, and if you as you guys walk past, next time you walk past, the bag won't be there. All right.
All right, everybody, back to the tavern, and then we can come out tomorrow and search for tracks.
All right. You guys will head back to the tavern, and that seems like a good stopping point for this session.
Doesn't it just?
I gotta say, there was some really funny crap that happened on this one, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Don't get
was.
to tell these types of stories too often. But since we're on the wrap up section of this is where everybody gets to pick their person that they want to have a fate point. Do you want to give it to Billy the Moral Goblin,
Yes.
Phelan the Berserker Robot, Monarch? I don't know what to say about Monarch yet, other than stop
What
punching
am
my
I?
creatures to death.
I also
I-
vote good
the
guy for that.
absolutely
sorry
not
about
evil, the absolutely not evil Nathan or Sokrin because for playing the bongos all day.
I also say, Billy, the moral compass of the party when Nathan can't be. So,
Going with Nathan.
Nathan for being an expert shit slinger. Nice.
All right, so we got one for Billy. We got one for Nathan. Come on, guys, don't leave it as a tie.
I also say special reference for Dr. Monty Martin and Kelly for creating this character. The pathogenist I don't think is the strongest apothecary by a long shot, but it does have a lot. But this test I was pretty much trying to do mostly like field control and buff debuff kind of stuff, and I think
pathogenist, right?
yes.
Okay.
I think if you play the pathogenist as a buff debuff and field controller, I think they can do a good job. I mean, arguably anything that the pathogenist did, anybody else could have done, and he didn't really use any special abilities. Any apothecary could have done everything that he did, but and like that's the one spot where the pathogenist falls down is I don't think its subclass abilities are as strong as some of the other subclass abilities, but I still think it's a competent character. I mean, it might be a B+ ranked character, B ranked character, but it's still, I mean, it's, you know, it's no monk. It's fine. Two Billies, two Gnathans.
Two Gnathans, and one Gray.
Two
I feel
Billies,
like
two
I'm doing
Gnathans,
well
and nobody
with the
cares about
monk,
Gray.
though.
You
Oh
are.
yeah.
I
Oh, yeah,
just
you
had to make
definitely
fun
are.
of you, and I just had to make fun of you in character when you threw darts at something. I know that they're an
Absolutely.
incredibly effective weapon for monks, but just think about anyone who doesn't know the meta or how the character works, watching somebody go, "No, wait, I'll attack him."
I mean, fair, but also I have riders to that. I have 3 points of force damage directly to whatever I strike,
Right.
and then monk dice because that's a monk
Monkey
weapon.
dice. Yeah, and I mean it only gets stronger as you go along, so it's fine.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's just
What was really funny, speaking of monks, when I did my playtest like Monday evening, I was playing apothecary with the noxious blood theory, the one where when you get hit, you deal like 1d6 plus intelligence modifier poison damage
yeah. I actually
creature
took
that hit you, and a monk of a falling fire struck me like multi-attack 4 times and killed himself on me.
wow. I actually also took diagnosis so that I could give someone advantage when they as a bonus action, but like never got into a situation where I really needed to, because anyone who wasn't a spellcaster kind of was either hitting something that was at disadvantage or already had advantage, or both. So
Reckless attack, the wolf totem.
that wolf totem was beast.
Wolves
But
and
it-
hippos are very close to me.
I do wish that diagnosis was a reaction, not a bonus action, because I think there's times where I think that a lot of times where you could use that, you won't necessarily see it coming very far in advance. And I would like the ability to go, oh, that's about to be a thing. Have advantage, right? So I think I might make that suggestion. I think it'd be more useful as a reaction, but also there's a fairly decent number of reaction pulls already for an apothecary and not a whole lot of
Right.
bonus action pulls. So
Vital Sign is a very good one.
So, Deuce, odds or evens?
whichever one isn't me.
Okay, so whatever that is, not you. So that would be Billy gets the fate point.
Yay! Fate point Billy.
I hope you guys enjoyed the story for this today. It brought to you by, someone playing cards earlier. And Nathan. adventure instead of getting paid for going on one.
I think that was 3 gold. I think that was 4 gold well spent.
I'm most interested in the conversation that I had with Phoebia.
That was fun. That was good.
That was interesting.
That music right there was just a little bit too epic for what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is wrap up music. This is no longer, destroy the Death Star music.
Exactly.
I just run in and punch stuff and it dies.
Well, it does currently. There might be some stuff that doesn't die immediately after you punch it.
All right, give me one
Well,
second.
I have
But not yet.
I have other ideas about what happens when that happens, but for now, stuff dies when I punch it. So.
Yep. I mean, you have a thing on your person that you can use as well.
I have a thing on my person. Oh, stunning strike. Yeah, that works.
Nope. I was talking about your inventory.
So many things.
A spear?
No.
Oh, that's new. Okay. I'll put that on my hotbar, and then we'll get to that when we get to that.
I'm color me excited.
I'm just going to say Monarch has no idea what that actually is,
Probably not.
but Monarch knows how to use it. He just doesn't know what it is.
Yeah. I smack people with it, right?
Exactly.
I mean, everything is a smack people with it tool if you try hard enough and believe in yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Alrighty. Well, I think I'm actually gonna drop out so I can go take a shower and go to bed.
I need
Thanks for
to
playing, buddy.
go to sleep because I spent an extra 2 or so hours at work of being aggravated. I am horribly tired.
No
But
worries.
I am
Let
glad
me see if I can
that
find somebody we can go raid because we had a good show and a good crowd, and I would like to pay that forward.
Yep. Good night, all.
Good night, Craig.
Good night, Great.
So, chat, what did you guys think of seeing the apothecary in action?
Yeah. I felt like it was very, very good at the crowd control and just applying debuffs that really set us up for avoiding damage. So, in a way, you're a preventative healer as opposed to a...
Yeah,
Yeah.
buff debuff field control. I think that I don't know that that's what they intended the class to be, but it's a role that I automatically default to whenever possible because I think it is ludicrously underappreciated for what it can do, and I think that this did the job nicely. We are going to get ready. We are going to go raid the Dungeon Boys. Remember, this is a second class raid or this is a 2CE raid. Feel free to use my emotes, your emotes, or anybody else's emotes. We are going to get out of here so that Borden can go to bed so he doesn't fall asleep in his chair. So, crazy waves, and we will catch you all next time. Bye!